Blank check with Griffin and David. Blank check with Griffin and David. Don't know what to say or to expect. All you need to know is that the name of the show is Blank Check.
The secretary is dead. The president has evoked Ghost Podcast.
Thank you, Tom.
I need to try it again because I said evoked instead of invoked.
He's evoked it though, you know.
But I want to. I'm all about accuracy.
All
okay,
right,
right?
fine.
The secretary is dead. The president has invoked Ghost Podcast.
You still really.
My Wilkinson isn't strong?
Actually, your Wilkinson's pretty good.
It's not terrible, right? What were you going to say?
No, it's just the podcast is just not. It doesn't hit like protocol.
Hey,
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Podcast?
Mm.
It's not a very quotey movie. It's a visual film.
I was thinking like, what quote's he even going to use?
This movie less of a talkie, more of a runny.
I jump and I podcast you.
Sure.
Right.
I was maybe did you podcast? Yeah, I podcast. Was I not supposed to podcast? I don't know.
That's good.
I don't know.
Good.
What if it was punch, kick, fight, podcast,
jump?
Yeah, probably that. Hello, everybody. My name is Griffin Newman.
I'm David Sims.
Sitting across from me, very pointedly.
Yeah, I sit across from you every week.
Well, but today
I made a little stink about it.
You made a little stink. Today, I'm usually a little stinker on this podcast. Today, you made a little stink.
I was asked very politely to sit next to you, and I said, I don't want to.
Sitting next to me in the chair that is usually reserved for the guests.
This is the thing. He turn your phone off.
Hold on. I'm doing a great job.
We can't do this podcast for 1 minute without us talking where we're all sitting.
I got to talk about this because this is in the news.
Okay.
This is a big deal. It's in the news. Okay. Uh-huh. Sitting next to me, where a guest usually sits.
Sure.
Ben Hosley.
He's kind of the guest.
I'm not the guest. I mean, I'm just. We have a new producer here at Audio Boom.
Yes.
A producer.
Yes. Yeah.
A rage producer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, her name's
poet
Rachel.
laureate.
Okay, yeah.
A tiebreaker.
Yeah. I guess you could help tie
breaks.
Finest film critic.
Do you like movies? Criticism?
She
shrugged.
Meat lover? Do you eat meat? No, you don't.
Oh, wow. You're a veggie lover.
Plant lover? Protein?
She's nodding her head. Yep. She
lover?
loves it. Yeah. She loves it.
Have you ever detected a fart? I'm sorry. I shouldn't ask you this.
No, these are my nicknames.
This is kind of due diligence. I know this is tense right now. New producer.
Yes.
In training. First time on the board. Rachel is sitting in Ben's usual seat.
Right.
So Ben asked David to sit in the guest seat.
Right.
And David made a stinky poop in his diaper.
He wagged his finger. No.
I said,
no.
Can I not?
Yeah.
So I said it like that.
You did say it like that.
Actually?
I'd rather not.
Could I tell you something really quick?
It's like I'm Mariah Carey and you like gave me a bowl of Skittles and I was like, there are green Skittles in this. Yeah. And I specifically said no green Skittles.
Now this is your diva moment because of course today we're talking about your favorite action movie of the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's correct. We're talking about Ghost Pro.
We're talking Ghost Pro.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a podcast about filmographies. Mm-hmm. I forgot to say it's called Blank Check.
Oh,
sure. Nice. Yeah, to introduce the podcast.
Yeah. It's called Blank Check or Concert of Context, hashtag the two friends, you know it.
Wow, great.
But what's it about? Filmographies. Directors who have massive success early on in their career were given a series of blank checks, make whatever crazy passion projects they want. Sometimes those checks clear, and sometimes they bounce baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now today is kind of an interesting episode.
What you mean in Brad Bird's career?
He kind of had a blank check and then made such a dramatic lateral move.
Yeah.
He crossed a Rio Grande line.
No, this is the thing. I feel like they gave him the blank check and he was like, I'm going to put this over here for now.
Yeah.
Like, I still got it, but like, not this time. You know
I would
what I mean?
argue this was a guarantor.
Exactly. Like
I think there is judgment against animation directors moving into live action.
That's what it was.
Right.
He went to the bank and he was like, I want to make, a big live action original epic.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually did that. And they were like, we're looking over. It's good, and your credit's fine. And
we got this
one
couple
movie
Oscars.
Star.
This movie star
nice.
who has such a preternatural sense of filmmaking that he keeps any director on rails.
Okay, right. But I mean, this movie is them being like, if you could just like do a year of car payments.
This movie's
and
like
then
a small business loan.
Yeah, exactly.
The director we're talking about is Brad Bird.
That's right.
The miniseries is called The Podcastables.
That's right.
And the film today that we are discussing is called Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Mission, impossible, Ghost Protocol.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing about these movies is they can't have a colon after the title.
Right.
Like they can't, like any other movie
Isn't it
would.
dash? Yeah.
Dash.
Right. Yeah.
Not
hyphen.
hyphen. No. You're right. It's not. It's an M dash. You're right.
Right.
You're right. It's an M dash.
Right. Because putting the hyphen there makes it sound like it's a last name.
Because
my name is
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Right. My name is Jeremy Ghost Protocol Hershkowitz.
I just remember when the title was announced, people were like, Mission Impossible 4 was right there.
Yeah.
You could have just done that.
Up until that point, a franchise without subtitles.
But still, MI2, remember, was M:I M-2.
Yes.
It was a bit, you know.
It was cool, though.
Yeah.
I was all about MI2 as a title.
But then Mission Impossible 3, they were just like, forget that. It's just Mission Impossible 3. No M dash.
Right.
And then this one, that was the twist.
They were cagey about the title. Everyone was like,
M dash is back.
What do you mean cagey? It's called 4. What do you mean?
Well, and then they also said when they said it's called Ghost Protocol, people were like, maybe like any other title.
Yeah.
Ghost? What the hell is
what does that
Ghost
mean?
Protocol? And now everyone knows what Ghost Protocol is.
Yeah, to the extent that Rogue Nation, which is a very Ghost Protocol-y title.
Right. I mean, these are Bondy titles.
Right. It's at a
Like,
standard where it's like, okay, every movie they're going to initiate some new thing with a weird name, a weird code name. And then when the new one, which will be coming out shortly after this episode releases.
Yeah, I should find out. Is it out yet?
I think it won't be out yet, but close. That's my guess.
That's your Griff guess?
Yeah, but it's just called Fallout. And I'm like, don't describe the emotional state of the character. Describe his status as a citizen.
It's out basically a month from now. This is coming out in June. It's out in July.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped for it.
This is a good franchise. Franchise we like a lot.
We love this franchise. We've talked about it a lot on this podcast
One
over
of
the
those
years.
franchises where we have occasionally discussed maybe just do a miniseries on that.
Yes.
Because it is such an auteur-driven franchise.
And I think it would be fun to do.
But now we just have to cover each of the directors individually.
Well, we've already done one of the directors, or done another of his films.
Yeah.
Christopher McQuarrie. We did Jack Reacher.
And we did one of J.J. Abrams' pictures.
That's right. We did Star Wars.
Yes.
So
I mean,
just got to do a De Palma miniseries, a John Woo miniseries, which would be interesting in its own way.
Yes.
I mean, he kind of went off the rails there.
Yes. Yes, he did. The movie's called Ghost Pro.
Mm-hmm.
It is, of course, as we all know, the second best Mission Impossible film.
I knew he was the best Mission Impossible
It's the second best Mission Impossible
One of the best films of its year. One of the best action films of my life.
2012?
2011.
2011?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's in my top 5.
Might have been my 10. Now, you very erroneously called it your favorite summer blockbuster of the modern era.
Shut up.
And I will never let you live this down.
I was on Todd Vanderwerf's podcast
Friend of the show,
a
past
while
and
back,
future guest.
and he asked us to pick like 5 summer movies of like the last 10 years.
And you did a lot of wind-up going, wait till you hear what mine
I did.
is.
That's why it sucked.
Because
if I had just mentioned it and Todd had been like, that movie came out, not in the... And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Because other people kept on citing other movies, and you were like, close for me, that's my 3. And then you saved it, and guess what? That movie's a Christmas present. It's a Christmas movie.
It's still so weird, because every single Mission Impossible movie has come out in the summer.
It's a summer franchise.
Except for this one.
Mm-hmm.
But this one came out December 16th. Came out Christmas.
And that's because...
Even though it's set in like hot places.
Franchise had a little dirt on
Dubai, Dubai, it's got a lot of like desert.
The franchise had a little dirt on it at this point.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, the star was a little rusty, a little grimy. And this is kind of the thing that gave him his groove back. He has not been able to reclaim top, unassailable, across-the-board Tom Cruise status.
Right.
But this franchise and how successfully this movie revived the franchise...
It kept him afloat.
Brought him back up for air.
Because he's got, after War of the Worlds, a film we've discussed, Mission Impossible 3, which is seen as a flop.
Right.
Make money, but...
Disappointment.
Very
Big
disappointing, certainly relative to 2.
And this was the first time that people went like, oh, I think the Tom Cruise personal life is fully overshadowing.
Right. That was the movie where all the War of the Worlds stuff actually crested onto Mission Impossible 3.
Because War of the Worlds, everyone's freaking out about Tom Cruise, but it made a ton of money.
That was the one, and it was obviously very sold on Cruise. Mm-hmm. War of the Worlds is sold on Aliens.
Right.
Then you got Lions for Lambs.
So then...
Interesting fact.
Yeah.
I covered the red carpet for that movie.
Really?
For People magazine.
Did you get to meet TC?
Yes. Do you know what he told me?
What?
Great to be in London.
That is so sweet. Wait, but why were you in London?
Oh yeah.
Well, I lived in London.
What?
Wait,
Grew up
I'm
there.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Grew up there.
You
What?
grew up
Hold
there?
on.
It was actually
But wait,
my last.
No, really?
You done? Is it over?
So Rachel, at this point, drop in Big Ben chimes for approximately 4.5 minutes. Is that what you usually do? I don't listen to the final episodes.
I actually
4.5
played
minutes?
the whole "God Save the Queen."
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You get public domain. You certainly
Yeah,
can.
you totally can.
You should pick a patriotic British song every time. Like you could play like Jerusalem or Rule Britannia, like all those songs they always play.
Wait, but how do you know all these songs?
Yeah, why are you just
my
listing these off
It's
like?
so weird. Like it's part of your background.
Yeah.
So
Two big things
no,
happened.
I just want to tell you about the red carpet for Lions for
I
Lambs.
thought you did.
It was raining, very hard, as it often does in London.
Wait, but why were you?
It was raining very hard. I had been assigned to go because Cruz was walking the carpet.
Yeah.
And people's like, and especially it's 2007.
Yeah.
Katie Holmes is way up there.
What-
this is, people wants a quote.
Was he walking and not running?
Well, that's what I was about to tell you.
Oh, okay.
So, because it's like, I think Meryl and Robert Redford were there,
Mm-hmm.
actually. The other, and Michael Pena or whoever else. Is
Andrew
in that
Garfield, an early Garfield
movie.
picture.
I mean,
Yeah.
he probably was there. I was probably like, who's that?
Yeah.
But I'm there. It's raining.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the red carpet. It's a Tom Cruise red carpet. So there are a ton of fans.
Yeah.
And it was 90 minutes. I watched him. I clocked it. 90 minutes of going up to every single fan.
Yeah.
And he does whatever they want him to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's autographs, but a lot of them had phones with their parents or sisters or whatever on the phone. He gets the phone. He talks to the person on the phone. He takes a picture with you. It was like watching a politician, but who, not just any old politician, like Bill Clinton circa 92 or whatever, like some kind of retail politician who's like a genius.
I don't understand.
And then he comes up to us and says, "It's great to be in London." And walks into the theater.
I don't understand how how anyone has that much energy.
He's it was something to behold for sure. Not like Jamie Foxx, who I covered as well. And if I told you that story where he drove his SUV down the red carpet into the lobby of the theater, inside, comes out, strikes 5 robot poses for the paparazzi, and then goes, "The kingdom, see it," and then gets back in the car, which reverses up the red carpet.
Good bit. 5 comedy points. I have 2 follow-up questions.
It was amazing. He wasn't even pretending to go see the movie.
Was it the premiere of The Kingdom?
It was the premiere of The Kingdom. I got great quotes from Jennifer Garner, though, so my boss was really happy.
So you should have responded when he said The Kingdom, go see it, and then got in his car and backed up. You said, "No, you go see The Kingdom. We're walking into the theater. We're the ones who are about to see The Kingdom. You fucker are getting out of here."
Yeah.
Wait, but why? You would have been in the United States at that point.
No, that was in London, too.
What? But why?
I was a little red carpet boy.
Clearly, I had no idea. Lights, camera, Sims over here.
I once almost...
You know what? You're full of surprises.
I've got so many red carpet stories from that year of films. I met Jerry Seinfeld,
06, 07, B-movie?
B-movie, you know what I mean? Colin Firth for something, and I fell in love with him just talking to him. He's one of those guys who's
what would have that been?
So no, it's 07, 08.
07, 08?
Yeah.
A Firthy from 08.
We had Stardust. I did that one.
Oh, yeah.
Golden Compass. That was a lot of stars.
Yeah.
Nicole was there, and Daniel Craig, and all those people.
Ella Blue. God damn it. That would have been a
Dakota
good
Blue
poll.
Richards, I think is her name.
Yeah,
all right.
whatever.
So Lions for
Ella Blue is
Lambs.
John Travolta's daughter, who's in Old Dogs. I want to do, right. This is the Cruise context I want to give.
Yeah.
He had always been a Paramount guy, with very few exceptions.
Uh-huh.
Kind of had first look at Paramount.
Right. Cruz Wagner was kind of
that was
set
a shingle.
up with them. Right.
Right. Because the movie where he transitions to being a producer as well, packaging his movies, is Mission Impossible
1. And
that's his first credit as a producer.
He picks a big director he wants to work with, Brian De Palma.
Right. Because before, he would sort of look for directors' projects
But
and
here he
place
hires
themselves in their
the
hands.
director.
He says, now I'm going to hire auteurs. And also, people have been trying to lock him down for a franchise for years. He goes, finally, I've picked my franchise.
Sure.
Here's the Tom Cruise franchise. Dusting off an old 60s TV show. Martin Landau, get the fuck out of here. It's Tom Cruise time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Iconic theme song, but a pretty malleable franchise, right?
Yeah.
The
Impossible Mission
Impossibles
Force.
are missing. Right, the Impossibles are
What
missing.
the
What the
hell
fuck
is
am I
that?
talking about? Let me eat a piece of bagel twist. Clearly, I need to rebound here.
Sound the alarm. Oh, God.
Rachel, if you can turn that up.
Please.
I'm just giving you all the things you don't know. So Ben always turns that up. Way, way up. Like cranks it all the way up.
Ben?
Yeah. No, I don't.
All right.
So he's a Paramount guy.
Yeah. But
Mission Impossible is his franchise. And after the kind of blow up of Mission Impossible 3, he goes to dinner with Sumner Redstone.
He also splits with Wagner, right?
Splits with Wagner.
Because this is a Tom Cruise production, not a Cruise Wagner production. Yeah.
Splits with Wagner.
Yeah. Paula Wagner.
I think she might have followed him to United Artists.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm looking her up.
But like fires his manager, fires his publicist, all that sort of stuff. Paramount.
Yeah, that was when he replaced his manager with like his sister, right?
Yes,
Yeah. He really like sort of took to the bunkers for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Paramount, Sumner Redstone, head of Viacom, super scary man.
Yeah, crazy old man.
Who has been weekend at Bernie's by his family for the last
Very
5 years.
So. Let's not get sued, but allegedly he is non-compos mentis in some way, maybe. Right. I don't know.
He goes, Tom, personal life's overshadowed the movies. You don't have a home at Paramount anymore. United Artists, MGM, struggling to stay afloat, new cash infusion, wants to make a big splash. They go, United Artists, a studio started by Charlie Chaplin, Lillian Gish.
Yeah.
What was supposed to be a haven for stars.
It was at times, and then it would get sold off.
Right. Then it was a shingle. It was an indie kind of division, whatever.
Things.
They said, Tom Cruise, how would you like to have your own mini studio?
Right.
Tom Cruise, here's United Artists. You make whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so he announces bold new era of Tom Cruise, United Artists, passion projects, Lions for Lambs.
Which
is the lowest grossing Tom Cruise movie in 30 years.
And no one remembers that it existed. He made a movie with Robert Redford and Meryl Streep, like a big Iraq war drama.
Like a talky chamber drama.
Yeah, like
place in
he
3
plays
offices.
like a senator, and he's just like, the reason we go to war is this. I've got my glasses in my hand.
That is
like,
the fundamental yes or no question of our time.
Yeah.
That's his big line in the trailer. How exciting. That is the fundamental yes or no question of our time.
Then he made Valkyrie the next year, which is sort of like, does okay, but
small for a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah,
does better than people remember.
Yeah, but
is directed by a monster.
Also, he's in Tropic Thunder that year,
right?
Which was sort of him being like, "See, I'm a funny guy."
That's a fun cameo. I like that cameo.
I do too. I do think it's a little bit of Tom Cruise like really trying to be like, I am funny. Like, don't worry about me. I'm not creepy. But I mean, it's funny.
I agree. It feels a little desperate to me in that sense.
He throws himself at it. You know?
I also wish he had done it without all the makeup.
Yeah. It's a little borderline anti-Semitic at times.
Yeah. And I think that character type works just as well as if he looks like Tom Cruise as opposed to
right, but they had this whole pitch where it would be like a surprise. Right? Remember that?
I get it. But like also you could give him a mustache. Like there are other ways to surprise him.
Like a Groucho mustache?
Yeah.
Like he has the glasses and the mustache and then at the end of the movie he's like, by the way, I was Tom Cruise all along.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to go like, here's the surprise. We're going to make him look like...
Ben's
I'm okay with all of this, except I like the hairy arms.
Yeah, the hairy arms are
That's
good.
A good
and he's
touch.
got the weird hands like that are like a little too big.
Right. What if that had been the disguise? It looked like Tom Cruise, but the arms were really hairy. And I was like, well, but that can't be Tom Cruise.
It's like a Superman thing where we're like, no, Clark Kent has glasses. Like, Tom Cruise's arms are normal hairy.
Smooth forearms.
So them, Night and Day, another sort of
so now he goes to Fox, Universal. Yeah. The United Artists thing is like dead.
Yeah,
Experiment's dead in the water. Goes to Fox. It was a big deal. He's juggling a couple possibilities of what he could do. I think he almost did Salt.
Yeah.
Salt he was very close to doing.
Who is Salt?
I believe it's Angelina Jolie.
That's right.
But that was like a big deal at the time where it's like, guess who they replaced Tom Cruise with? Angelina Jolie, and they're not even rewriting the movie.
Yeah. Salt's okay.
I'm sure it is. I've never seen it.
Oh, you never saw it?
No, I'm more of a Pepper guy myself. So, Rachel, right here, if you want to drop in audio of just gales of laughter. Like a wild, like... you're going to have to... You're really going to have to
sweeten that up.
Just make it sound like all of Audio Boom is giving me a standing O.
Oh, God. Just ignore him. All right. So, Night and Day...
Doesn't really do well. His movies still do well overseas, so they don't really lose money.
That's the thing. The pitch on him now, the like official word on Tom Cruise is The star is faded. He's now more like he's drifting into Stallone territory where he's a big enough name to carry a budget.
You always get press, but you got to cap those budgets. He's not a blockbuster guy.
So then he announces, I'm making Mission Impossible 4.
Right. And there was a moment in between these 2 points, Mission Impossible 3 and where we are right now, the stuff we've gone over, where Paramount was like, maybe we keep doing Mission Impossible without him.
And there was this 5-year gap, fairly large gap.
Brad Gray is running Paramount.
Yep.
The late, great Brad Gray.
Yep.
He had been Brad Pitt's manager and producing partner for years, and he apparently was very bullish on the idea of it's Brad Pitt, he's the head of the IMF, and it's a bunch of young recruits. The movie is Brad Pitt with a team of youngins.
Okay, sure. Right.
That kind of came close to happening. They finally go, okay, Cruise, we're going to keep you on a tighter leash. We'll do Mission Impossible 4, but their original stake was, we'll do Mission Impossible 4 to let you pass the baton.
Yes, the original pitch was we're going to do Mission Impossible 4. They hire Brad Bird, which is a nice hire.
Right. I remember the short list being like Brad Bird, Edgar Wright. There was someone else cool who was on there.
Sure, like cool directors.
They were all cool directors.
But they also hired Jeremy Renner, who's coming off of The Hurt Locker and The Town, and he's an Oscar nominee, and everyone thinks he's going to be a new star.
They had written that role for a guy in his 20s. And there was the short list. They were doing crazy screen tests on every young actor. Anthony Mackie got really close to getting it. I guess he plays younger. Kevin Zegers from Transamerica weirdly got very close to getting it.
Thank God that didn't happen. Right? Isn't it Zegers? There's an I in there?
Maybe.
I think it's Zegers.
Maybe. There's one other guy in the short list who I'm forgetting. But everyone was like, which actor who looks around 29 is going to be the next star of the Mission Impossible franchise? So it was kind of a curveball when it was Renner, who's only 4 or 5 years younger than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's now 47.
Yeah.
So when he made this, he's early 40s.
And also that he was more established at that point. They thought they were going to go with someone who was real.
Yeah, he's an Oscar nominee.
Right, he was an Oscar nominee for best lead actor. And at this point, he's signing up to franchises left and right.
Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters.
Which they thought they were going to make 12 of those.
12?
7 at least.
All right.
He's Hawkeye. Of course, we all remember him up the crow's nest in Thor. Not taking a shot. A scene that cuts together very well. And I guess Bourne happens a little after this.
Yeah, Bourne is 2012, though, so, not long after.
But everyone is kind of going he's the new workhorse guy. He's the new workhorse guy. That's interesting. I guess Mission Impossible is going to be handed over to Jeremy Renner. Less baggage.
Sure. He'll do it.
Smaller salary. He'll do it.
Do it.
He'll do it. But late in the game, Christopher McQuarrie gets brought on, who had written Valkyrie for Tom Cruise.
Yep.
Cruise is now big on him, asking him to come in, do punch-ups, do rewrites. And he is trying to do a Hail Mary pass on the script, which is
in the middle of filming.
Yeah.
That he came on board.
Oh, wow. It's that late.
Yeah.
And he was like, first of all, you can't fucking get rid of Tom Cruise.
Right.
And he goes to the studio and makes the whole pitch on this is Tom Cruise's franchise.
Right.
You can't do it. Which is why Jeremy Renner's character arc is weird in this movie. Because they kind of mid-production reconceptualized what the movie was.
Here's the way he puts it.
Yeah.
It was the middle of the shoot. I had to communicate with everyone to determine what I could or couldn't change, what sets had been built, what scenes had already been shot, what scenes could be reshot. I learned a lot about production being right there, yada, yada, yada. The script had all these great sequences, but the mystery was very complicated, and I just pulled things out of it to make it simpler. That's how he describes his role. He basically said the plot of this doesn't matter. What you want are those big set pieces, so let's just make this mystery very, very, very simple. Maybe that includes more Renner stuff that he's no, that's not important.
I get that feeling, and I get the feeling that it was supposed to end with Renner fully taking the lead, and he probably said, no, it's got to be Cruise. We have to find something else to keep Renner here, which is where the wife stuff comes in.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Now, this is where I think we get to the fundamental disconnect.
Griffin, shut up for a second. Ben, did you know that 66% of men lose their hair by age 35?
Don't get me started.
When you notice it, it's just too late. And it's already gone. Yeah. All the hair.
You look in your shower drain and you're like, where did it all come from?
Where did hair all come from?
And it came from you.
Came from the top of your head. How are you going to feel in a year? Instead, it's business as usual up on the top of your head.
I would love it.
Rather than hairline receding, how about it comes back?
Yes, please.
All right, well, forhims.com. It's a one-stop shop for hair loss, for skincare, for sexual wellness, for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims is going to connect you with real doctors, medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss.
So now, David, wait, are you saying that well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair are now on the market and available and for a reasonable price?
See, if you go to forhims.com, there's no toggle or like drop-down bar for snake oil pills, for gas station supplements. You're not going to buy, powdered Tiger over here. You're going to buy real generic brand medical things that will help you keep your hair. You just answer a few questions.
Okay.
Doctor reviews and prescribes you medicine. There's no awkward visit. You save hours, and the product goes right to your door.
So I don't even have to go to a waiting room and like read some weird old magazine.
You just have to go to the information superhighway.
Wow.
That's the World Wide Web.
Thank you.
All right. So Blank Check listeners are going to get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. You could just look at forhims.com for full details. This would cost hundreds of dollars if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. You go to forhims.com/check.
Oh, okay, sure. Great. So I just checked that I've typed that in, right?
What is Griffin? Am I talking to Griffin Newman right now? Come on.
No, I mean, I was on time and I'm not eating anything currently on the microphone.
No, you go to FOR.
Do you like that, Griff? Dunked on your ass. Sorry.
You go to forhims.com/check. Forhims.com/check. There you go.
All right. So back to the nonsense.
Uh-huh.
Mission Impossible. Ghost Protocol.
So it is interesting to me that this movie, it does sound like it was a complicated production.
Yeah.
They did change it around. They did have this weird concept of making crews leave and then sort of double back on it.
Yeah.
All interesting considering that it's a perfect movie that makes me so happy and I've watched it a million times and I don't care.
Okay, so here's our divide on the movie.
Yeah. But the divide is like, I love it, you like it a lot. Yeah. Right? Like it's not like that extreme a divide.
I can sense the lack of a script on this movie. Yeah. I think set piece for set piece, it's perfect.
But these movies don't need scripts.
But I think Rogue Nation has a great script, which is why Rogue Nation is the best one.
Yeah.
I think Rogue Nation is the only one that works as a story.
I love Rogue Nation.
I think it has a story. It spins a yarn for us, Benjamin.
I agree.
I really love Rogue Nation, so it's like I have no beef with loving Rogue Nation. But this movie was directed by Brad Bird.
Let me settle this.
Yeah.
I kind of like Rogue Nation better.
Thank you.
Tiebreaker.
Sorry.
I like Brad Bird more than I like Christopher McQuarrie. But I think the gap between scripts in these two films is wider than the gap between direction.
Okay, but you know what? I knew we were going to do this, and I don't want to do it.
That's
honestly,
the end
because we're not talking about Rogue Nation. We're talking about Ghost Protocol.
We'll talk about that in our next miniseries, The Pod of the Cast, our Christopher McQuarrie miniseries.
I guess that would be the move, right? I mean,
who cares? Whatever.
Yeah. Because when this movie came out, Rogue Nation didn't exist.
Correct.
And instead, we were watching a movie that was like Tom Cruise's whole reputation was on the line. And we were watching him literally like claw it back in front of us.
And he successfully...
And it is thrilling. It's as thrilling as someone climbing the Burj Dubai.
He successfully finds his angle for a new decade.
Yeah.
Which is Tom Cruise is the only movie star willing to almost die.
Is a maniac.
He's a maniac.
He will
do anything on camera.
I think it's deliberate where even if he doesn't know it's deliberate, where it's like, right, the public now perceives him as a maniac. Yeah. He should just be a maniac.
Yeah, correct.
And then everyone's going to be like, oh, what a maniac, you know?
That's the other thing I like about Rogue Nation. This is a movie about everyone realizing he's a maniac.
But this movie's like that too.
Yeah.
But in this movie, he's like a conductor of a great symphony. Yeah. That is what this movie is.
And the symphony is people screaming, "You're a maniac."
Right. Like, whereas this movie is him working with an orchestra, and Rogue Nation is a movie where it's like, we only have a dump truck, and he's like, doesn't matter. It's going to make great music right now. You know, because like in Rogue Nation, the things get so ridiculous where they're like, we've lost the codes. He's like, I know all the codes. How do you know all the codes? I memorized them. How would you possibly be able to do that? I just did. Like, it's always like he just does the thing that no one could ever do.
Right. Ethan Hunt has never...
This movie has that too, but Rogue Nation's just like more, like higher.
Ethan Hunt's never really been a character. He's interesting when he overlaps with Tom Cruise.
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
What a made up name.
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt. It's like literally someone in the 90s was like, who's cool? And they were like, Ethan Hawke.
Hunt.
And they were like, all right, Ethan Hawke. Can we just like fuddle that a little bit?
What's the thing that America loves? Hunting.
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah. We don't know anything about him.
We know everything about him.
What? Like, where's he from?
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know,
we know everything else. Well, we don't know that, but we know everything else about him.
What is the impossible mission force?
I don't know. I love that they didn't say that out loud until like the third one. Like they kept on doing IMF because they were like, this is too corny in a modern age.
The third one is very like, no, let's figure out like how the IMF works. You know, the first two are very more just sort of like he gets a tape.
And let's say
what are they having for lunch?
Seriously.
That is the other thing.
What's like the org tree?
The other
is Lawrence Fishburne above Billy Crudup?
The other thing that actually helps this movie get made is the rise of J.J. Abrams. Because he directs 3. It's his first film. But now Bad Robot's become a powerhouse.
Right. He's made Star Trek.
Right. He's
a hit.
A big dude at Paramount. Super 8 was a big hit.
Yep.
And so he really pushes, I'm now the production company behind this franchise.
And he and Cruise love each other.
Right.
They're like, great. We're going to make a movie.
We're the ones developing it. The way Jeremy Renner got cast in this was he was meeting to play the dad in Super 8.
Yeah.
And JJ decided he was wrong for that. But then said, like, wait, do you like Mission Impossible?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, yeah, those movies are fun.
Sure.
And he's like, stop the presses. Get Kevin Zegers out of here.
it's Zeger.
Who cares?
I don't know.
He's not a real person.
I mean, I didn't
He doesn't
care
exist. He's a fictional character.
That's probably true.
He's never been a person. I challenge, if any listener can call in and tell us that they met
Kevin Zeger.
Either one. It doesn't matter. It's an imaginary friend.
I also like how this movie puts Tom Cruise against the Nordic Tom Cruise and the Indian Tom Cruise. Like Michael Nyqvist and Anil Kapoor are both older, like when they're in this movie, and like their stardom is firmly established. But those are both guys who in their respective countries kind of were like a Tom Cruise type in there at like the height of their fame.
Yes.
And I think that's great.
I do too.
It's one of the many things I think is great about this movie. And Tom Wilkinson is, of course, the English Tom. What if that was true? It's like, oh, he was the English Tom Cruise. Like, did you see like the movie where, you know, he like baked a pie? Like whatever like the English version of that is.
Every Mission Impossible movie has had a different head of the IMF, right?
So in one,
Voight.
It's Voight. In 2, it's Hopkins.
Right, who got paid like $8 million for one scene. There was like a big
it that
deal.
Much? He got paid.
It was a big deal how egregious his salary was because then he gave it all to charity or something.
Sure. 3.
Like a loser.
Is 3 Fishburne is the head?
Yes.
In 4, it's Wilkinson, sort of.
Uncredited.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in 5, it's Alec Baldwin.
Right, but he's kind of adopted it.
Yeah.
It's like they're
but
the
then in
foster
6,
kid.
it's Baldwin too. So 6 is the first one that's going to like
direct
carry
sequel,
thing over.
one director doing more than one.
This is the first movie. Well, Ving Rhames is always popping up. Like that's the one thing Mission Impossible had. It was like people expected Ving Rhames, right? It was like Tom Cruise is in them and Ving Rhames will show up at some point.
Right, because the first one, he's got a team.
Yeah,
they
he's
all
on the team.
Die.
Yeah,
Ving's the only one who survives.
You got Estevez,
right.
Emilio.
Yeah.
Who else is on the team? The French lady.
Oh, Emmanuel Bear.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Bear.
Voight.
Emmanuel Bear. John Voight.
I'm just going to look over there.
Academy Award winner John Voight.
Yeah.
That was a trivia
Two-time
question
Academy
once
Award
that we
winner.
were really proud of getting correctly, which was how many Academy Award nominees have appeared across the 5 Mission Impossible movies.
When we got them all.
Yeah.
That is hard.
Yeah, because there are a bunch of them.
Voight looks sickly.
Now?
Just, yeah.
You're worried about him?
Yeah.
He makes a lot of like MAGA movies now, right? Like he's sort of leaning into like the Trump thing.
Well, he's also playing Trump at the Hall of Presidents.
Funny.
Have you seen that robot?
Yeah, it's weird.
Looks like John Voight. Ben, have you seen the robot?
Ben, the Wi-Fi's bad.
I have.
He bears resemblance to John
Ben, the
Voight.
Wi-Fi's being
Hey, you know
bad.
what?
What?
I saw that.
Yeah.
And I had the same thought.
Yeah, I went like this. That robot bears a resemblance to John Voight.
I was
Okay,
like,
all right,
excuse
wait,
me,
no,
hold on.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Oh my God,
Ben
shut the
talk.
fuck up.
Stop
Ben?
for 1 second. That robot that's gone viral
Yes.
kind of looks like John Voight.
You know what's funny? I was watching a John Voight movie the other day.
Go
and
on.
I went, do you know actually who he looks like?
Yeah,
Guys.
no. Can we let him finish?
No, we haven't even started the movie. It's 36 minutes. Come on.
The Hall of Presidents robot.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Wi-Fi's bad, Ben.
Oh my
What
God.
do you
This
want
guy
me to
won't
do?
stop going
Gotta fix
on
the
and on about
Wi-Fi.
the same subjects.
Oh, geez. Sorry. Why don't you mention the Wi-Fi?
Don't you want
He's
to play the
repeating
box
himself.
office game later?
All right. What do you want me to do?
Nothing. It's
Do you want me to yell at the router?
They kind of do that in this movie.
David, stop yelling at Rachel.
All right.
Unbelievable.
It's our first day.
It's her first day. She's doing a great job. This guy.
It's a lot.
Some of us are trying to keep the train moving.
Hey, you know what? We should sit next to each other more often.
We should.
Definitely should not.
You want a piece of my bagel twist?
I should be sitting next to Griffin.
Make sure to eat it on mic.
Griffin, I ate my whole bagel twist like half an hour ago. You have eaten 2 bites of it.
I'm savoring it.
I had dinner with you the other day. You got fried chicken, you essentially got Japanese chicken tenders.
Yeah.
You ate like 2 and took 3 home.
I got another thing.
Yeah, you did get a little like rice bowl thingy as well.
And to be fair, I was drinking beer.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you're right.
These are good.
Yeah, it's really good, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is beer.
I like beer.
Okay.
Mission Impossible. Ghost Protocol.
So, I also think, well, for one, this movie had a lot of IMAX shit. It had that IMAX package, where it like gets rolled out in IMAX, and you want to see it in IMAX.
Big sequences shot in IMAX. But the other thing was that the opening of Dark Knight Rises was going to play before the movie.
Right. So that was coupled in. I believe the movie, much like The Dark Knight Rises, had no 3D option.
Yep.
Which is, again, Bird, like Nolan kind of being like, fuck that shit. I'm not,
I think Cruise has also only done one 3D movie, right?
Which one? Oblivion?
I believe so.
Oblivion.
Tom Cruise is a 2-dimensional man.
Sure.
He needs a 2-dimensional medium.
So...
but there was like a weird thing. I mean, they thought this was going to be a summer release. They pushed it to Christmas. People wondered if it was damaged goods. And
definitely. Like the hype was low, and my hype was low.
Yeah,
I was excited about the Brad Bird angle.
Yeah,
but even that, I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, can he handle this?
I had so much faith in Bird. I was excited, but
I was excited. I mean, like I was there.
Yeah,
so my brother, but I definitely was not like I feel about going to see Mission Impossible 6 this summer, where I'm like, I love Mission Impossible. Like I had liked 3 a lot, but thought it was a little odd.
Yeah.
It's an odd movie.
It's not a movie. I like it.
I do too. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I really do. Not quite as good as these ones, but
it's not a movie. But it also was kind of a franchise reset.
Hoffman. Yeah.
That was, Hoffman's unbelievable. Abrams was like, I want to make them team movies again, and he sort of resets
has a fun
the board.
team.
You get Simon Pegg in there.
And Jonathan Rhys-Meyers and Simon Pegg, who he carries over because he is a lot of fun. But in that movie, and that role was intended for, do you know who?
Griffin Newman?
If only. Ricky Gervais.
Oh.
Which, like, talk about a bullet dodge.
Wow.
Fun fact about Ricky Gervais, I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
He's an atheist.
This is the thing about Ricky Gervais, and people don't know this.
Yeah. No, I've read that somewhere.
Doesn't believe in God.
Not a religious guy.
Yeah. But also, he's an atheist.
No, totally.
Yeah.
David, have you heard about this?
You heard about this?
Yeah, no, he doesn't believe. What does he do now?
Remember Derek?
No, that's done, I think.
Well, I know he's not going to church.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. You know why? Doesn't believe in God, that one.
You did this bit like 2 years ago.
Yep.
It was funny then.
Yeah.
It's funny now.
It's fine. Yeah.
I think he tours. He still does stand-up.
He definitely does his stand-up. I think he might have like some Netflix thing.
He keeps on doing dumb Netflix things.
I mean,
they did an Office follow-up that none of us watched because we were like, hey, remember when The Office ended perfectly?
Right, yeah. Hey, we don't need that
Let's
at all.
ignore it.
Yeah.
He literally did a follow-up that we all collectively chose to ignore.
Just don't talk
about it. The Office ended perfectly.
But this was the year where Gervais was still like this hot new like English comedian to Hollywood. Right. So they were like, yeah, he'll be funny. I mean, I'm talking about 06.
Yeah, put him in a Taya Leone rom-com.
Right. But then in 3, Peg's just the guy at the computer. But in this one, he's out
in the field.
He's out and about. It keeps the team concept, but it just says Peg.
New team.
You add in Paula Patton, who's coming off of Precious.
Who I love.
And who else loves her?
Well, he's got to get her back. Robin Thicke.
Wrote a whole album about it.
Gotta get her back.
It was creepy.
He didn't.
Have you ever, I made you watch that music video, right?
Oh, sure.
That's about him trying to get her back, where he casts another actress to play her.
Yeah.
And the whole video is them naked making out together. And it's like, I don't know if she's going to love this.
Then didn't he get some shit later? Like, he's a creep, right?
Yeah, he sucks. Okay. Well, that's why they split up.
Right. He was like cheating on her all the time.
Yeah. He's a creep.
Right. That was the thing. And there was also, there was that lawsuit where Pharrell was like, yeah, I kind of just wrote that song. He was like in the corner, asleep.
Right. The
Marvin he was like completely out of his mind.
The Marvin Gaye estate sued Robin Thicke, saying that he had stolen, I think, the main bass line.
Yeah.
From Gotta Give It Up for Blurred Lines. And the way that he avoided having to pay out was he had to testify in front of court. Like, I didn't really write that song at all.
Right.
So
yes, he had to admit, like, yeah,
I didn't really do anything.
That shit in. I literally Skyped that shit in.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone felt so bad for me that Pharrell wrote a song because I
Paula
could write
Patton,
myself.
she's great.
She's great. You got to get her back.
What happened to her?
I don't know. She was in Warcraft.
That was tough.
I think that was supposed to be another big thing for her.
What do you mean tough?
Go on.
This is good.
Yeah?
That was good.
Is this like a bit?
Not a bit. I'm a video game movie guy, officially.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
And you liked it?
I did.
Did you see it in theaters?
No.
Okay. All right.
But what else did I... what's the Assassin's Creed is good.
What is this?
I swear.
I saw that movie.
I swear.
Here's what I want to say about Assassin's Creed. I don't think it's good. It's a little interesting.
I mean,
little
just the Curzel's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like video game movies now because you view them all pretending they're part of the Wreck-It Ralphiverse?
Oh, somewhat. I don't know if I've ever... That's interesting.
You like Assassin's Creed because you're like, I can't wait till Ralph shows up.
I'm killing this, but one last question. Have you seen the Resident Evil movies?
No.
I think you'd really get a kick out of it.
I think you'd like those.
You'd really like them. They're really good. The second one is rough, so you kind of got to like make it through that one.
Right.
But then like after 3 on, fucking great. So good.
You know what I'm writing down? Resident Evil movies.
Ricky Gervais,
and
atheist.
Ben is taking out a pen. He is writing down that
like she has
robot looks like John.
Here's her post protocol.
Okay, one comedy point.
Jumping the broom. Yeah. Fine, like comedy.
She's trying to make herself a man of comedy league.
2 guns, in which
there are 2 of them. Hashtag the 2 guns.
Something called Baggage Claim.
That's another rom-com that she produced, but she didn't star in.
About Last Night. No, she's in it apparently.
She's in it, but she's not the star. It's and Paula Patton.
Fine. About Last Night.
She's kind of key supporting part in that, not one of the leads.
The Perfect Match. It's another rom-com. She really went in on the rom-coms.
Maybe that's the one that she produced?
Yeah, that's the one she produced. The Do-Over.
Baggage Claim she starred in. Right, she's the female lead in the Do-Over.
And then Warcraft. And then like, that's the last we heard of her.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh no, she's got a TV show.
Which I think is already done. She had an ABC show that ran for 7 episodes.
Like got canceled. Right.
The other thing about Paula Patton is she worked in documentary films for like 10 plus years.
She's great.
She got a film degree, was like, I'll never make it as an actress. And like just worked for PBS and did like, was like a segment producer for like medical shows and shit before she was like, fuck it, I want to be an actress. So she didn't start acting until like 2005. And then very quickly started like booking big parts, but movies that didn't really work. Deja Vu, supposed to be a big movie, didn't really work. Idlewild, she's very good and doesn't work. And then this was kind of the moment where everyone was like, okay.
Well, she's been in Precious.
She killed it.
She's great.
Very underrated in Precious. Didn't get enough credit for that performance. No. And that's like, now she's in a big fucking franchise. Paula Patton, about to happen.
She has this sort of smaller performance, next to 2 very big performers. Right. Gabrielle Sidibe and Monique's performances.
I think she's kind of the key to that movie
really
working.
Like theatrical and good. They're great performers.
She's the heart of the
like
picture.
Muted and she's the heart of the movie. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol begins with everyone's favorite movie star.
Josh Holloway.
Josh Holloway. That's right. For the second time, Abrams kills off or an Abrams cast member.
Sure.
In the like first scene of the movie.
The Tom Selleck
Kerry
of our
Russell
time.
in Mission 3. And now Sawyer from Lost.
The Josh Holloway thing is fascinating.
I love it.
I remember when they announced him in the cast, the assumption was that he was part of the team.
Yeah, sure. He'd be like a Reese Myers.
And they cut the trailer from that one action sequence across it, making it look like he was on the battlefield like with them. Because he gets through so much action within this first 2-minute stretch.
He's also great, I think.
I think he's great.
He's really fun.
And God, what a fucking good looking guy.
Handsome.
Can't get over it.
Does the thing with the lenses.
Yeah.
Does the little, the tap move, which I like, where he's sort of like, the guy's like, and he's like, oh, no,
hey, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, right.
And that's like real movie star move to like sell that kind of like, don't miss a step.
He's a good actor.
He's a good fucking actor. And I don't get why it didn't happen for him.
Yeah, it's really tough when you're like, I do like he needs a specific kind of role.
Yeah.
And like you get locked into a TV show. Like he's done a couple now. I think.
Get John locked into a TV show. If you're talking about Lost, you might get John logged into a thing. Right?
But you know what I mean? Like, because he got cast in like some alien show, didn't he?
Yeah, and he had a CBS show that like premiered huge, and then the next episode got 4 viewers.
And then it's like you're just stuck, you know. And then it's like that was 2 years. Now you're 39. You know, like it's like you just kind of like
he should have been a movie star, but I think he falls into that weird Tom Selleck territory. And then it's like, well, then he should have had a good follow-up show, and it still hasn't happened.
Right, he just hasn't found that. But he's great. I love it when he falls off the roof and has the little like inflatey thing.
Great,
that's awesome.
You know what I love?
No,
did you watch the movie? You watched it.
Yeah.
He falls off, and then like his backpack turns into like an airbag.
He goes like,
oh yeah,
it's cool.
The other thing I like, this movie does very well. I remember in the lead up, people were like, well, what's a fucking Mission Impossible movie going to be now? You got a smartphone. Why do they need all these gadgets?
Right.
I like that all of their gadgets run off of smartphones.
Right.
That it's like, no, the cool thing is their smartphones do better things than yours.
Yeah.
They have plugins.
Though I do feel like Mission Impossible 3 is really gadgety and has so many masks.
Yeah.
And so there is a bit of a like where we're gonna like let's just slightly like they have to be a little more on their toes this time.
Well, and that's the notion of this movie. Put them on Ghost Protocol. Have their backs up against the wall.
And everyone knows what Ghost Protocol is.
Everyone knows what Ghost Protocol is.
When the president avows it.
Ghost Protocol, yes.
Invokes it.
Yes, it invoked the Ghost Protocol, you know? So he is killed by Léa Seydoux.
Yep.
Léa Seydoux.
It's pretty good. She's pretty cold-blooded. Shoots him. He gets moited.
She's very good in this, and it makes it even more...
She's steely.
Yeah, she's very steely. It makes it even more insane that they cast her for that role in Spectre.
Yeah, they cast her as the romantic lead, who's very vulnerable.
Not what she's good at.
No, she's
terrifying.
She's ill-served by that.
Like her a lot as an actor, but emotional distance is kind of her stock in trade.
Love her in The Lobster.
Yeah, she's great.
She's so scary in that.
Yeah.
So she moitas him.
Moving on. Just like that, we've lost a big star. Gone.
Everyone's like, Josh Holloway's dead.
What?
That means anyone could die.
How could this film continue? Who's it going to be about now? We cut to a prison. A gulag.
Yeah, a Russian prison.
Yes. Paula Patton in the tunnels with
She's
a flashlight.
in the tunnels. Benji, Simon Pegg is, I guess he's just in a van.
I'm talking Casio here. It's more of a computer man, you know?
That's the whole team, I guess, just the two of them.
Yes, at this point,
because Holloway's dead.
Right.
He was the other one.
Right. They are here to free Tom Cruise.
Here to extract him.
And he's doing the fucking Steve McQueen against the wall.
Yeah, with like a little piece of chalk. Like, right? A little bit of like plaster.
Yeah. It's plaster. It doesn't usually bounce.
Cruise is the long hair again.
Yeah.
In Mission Impossible 3, short.
Yeah.
In this one, long.
Yeah.
In Rogue Nation, kind of in between.
Mid-length.
Fallout's short again.
Okay, so here's my hot take that I was kind of teasing before we started recording.
Yeah.
I think this is peak Tom Cruise handsome.
Wow. So Ben was saying that he looked like garbage.
Yeah,
he said that his name, he said more like Tom Garbaggio.
I did not say
he
that.
Did.
No.
He said he looked like a shoe that a pigeon threw up on.
You did say that. You said that verbatim.
No, you were very anti-Cruise in this.
He looks bad.
So what's peak hotness to you? Because I don't agree with Griffin, although I think he looks good in the movie.
I'd buy a slice.
I would say, he was so cute as a young man.
Very cute.
You know?
Sure, like your risky business.
Watched Jerry Maguire with my family. My mom kept going, God, he was so cute.
He was cute.
Because she hates him now.
I guess I'm going to have to say 80s or 90s. Maybe, all right, 90s Cruise.
See, So
you're saying like A Few Good Men or like The Firm, like those kinds of movies.
Yeah. Strong hairline, good jaw.
He's got a great fucking hairline in this.
Like Mission Impossible 1.
No, but it's starting to look stringy and he's like, I don't know.
Here's my thing. I like Tom Cruise with some city miles on him.
Sure.
I like him with a little wear and tear, and I think he's got just the right amount of damage in this picture.
You know, yeah. I
say show me the Carfax. Or Carfax.
You're asking the Carfax to show you the Carfax.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
On Tom Cruise.
Oh my God. All right. I don't know. I think
show me the Carfax.
I think McQuarrie is like peak Cruise for me.
I'm just saying, I've seen McQuarrie recently. I watched this last night, and hot diggity dog, was I buying what he was selling?
Sure.
Until he takes his shirt off, at which point it becomes gross.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And now, And these movies are not trying to make him a romantic lead.
No.
You know, it's something that they're sort of like quietly swerving away from.
all about him trying to
it's all about his
settle
romance
down, have
with
a
Michelle
life.
Monaghan.
Yes. This one, he's asexual.
Yeah. Well, he kisses Paula Patton, but he announces that it's a bit before he does it.
Yeah, he goes.
And it feels like that thing where he's like, I don't know, I feel like we got some chemistry. And they were like, all right, I guess it's a bit. The screenwriters are like, I don't think you.
But
maybe.
the bit is also like him realizing that Anil Kapoor is like a sub.
Right. Yeah, that he's going to be like into her demeaning him by kissing someone else in front of her.
He likes having his fingers broken.
Yeah. He's a weird character.
You know that fetish with Tom Cruise specific cuckolding?
So he's in prison. Just
people who just exclusively like being cuckolded by Tom Cruise.
Here's where
exclusively.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Are you done?
Maybe. I mean, let's go on. Let's see. Maybe we'll come up again.
He's in prison. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
They're rushing to get him out. Do you agree?
Yes.
What's the move? How do they do it? How do they announce themselves?
Play Kick in the Head by Dean Martin.
Over the speakers.
Yeah.
And what's Brad Bird announcing right now?
This is a Brad Bird picture.
This is a Brad Bird picture. It's a fucking symphony, my friends.
Uh-huh.
This is the overture. And I'm conducting this shit for you. Like Tom Cruise is conducting this shit for you.
Yeah.
This is like really what's happening there. How do you feel about this? I love this sequence.
Awesome. Great sequence.
Like all the stuff with the
Exciting
doors,
action.
like opening and closing. It literally is like you're watching, like, I feel like a dance production, which is what this movie is like.
This movie works best as a silent film.
Well, not silent. I want to hear the sound effects.
Sure, but I'm saying this movie, its strength and why Brad Bird knocks it out of the park, despite the script being kind of neither here nor there, is because the set pieces are so well designed and he is such a good visual storyteller when it comes to gesture, movement.
I agree.
Movement of both the camera and the characters.
Getting how satisfying it is when everything is like, it's like an animation project.
Yes.
Like where everything ends up exactly where he wants it to end up.
Right. He is also an incredible setup payoff filmmaker. Oh my God. Wait a second. I just sound 40% better.
Nice job.
Look at that. Thank you very much, Rachel. He's an incredible setup punchline filmmaker.
So much.
And this movie is all about setting stuff up, paying it off. And often very little kind of visual gags, not plot points.
And like in this opening, I just like, all the stuff where he's communicating with Benji silently through the CCTV where he's like, open that up.
Yeah.
And Benji's like, are you sure? That seems like a pet. He's like, yes, open it up.
Which, Tom Cruise is one of the best physical movie stars alive. That's what you make Cruise gesture. That's when we're in the fucking pocket.
And then when he like leans, and he's like, we'll just wait. And then you cut to the guards like looking at this guy being like, what the fuck's he doing? And he goes like, I know, right? Like, I want to beat you up, but like they're not opening the door for me.
Tom Cruise and Brad Bird are such a fucking smart pairing.
They are. I wish they'd make another movie.
Yeah, that was my thought. Is like he should have followed this up. Tom Cruise should have been like, Brad Bird, you fucking whatever you want to do, I'm there
the
with
wheels,
you.
Like but maybe Bird. I mean, look, we've talked about it in every episode.
Yeah.
Bird's a demanding guy.
So it's Tom Cruise.
That's what I'm saying, but maybe they clashed in the wrong way. Like maybe they didn't gel. I mean, obviously they made a great movie. I think Cruise likes this movie, but he wants McQuarrie to make the next one. Like obviously he installs McQuarrie for the next one.
I think that was also that he had sort of taken on McQuarrie as a reclamation project.
Yes.
McQuarrie said that he was in director's jail for a long time. He gave him Jack Reacher, which we both agree is the best American film. Period.
Yeah, best American achievement.
Yeah, right.
Just in any category.
Right, the defining movement of the
Hoover
21st
Dam,
century.
like is below it.
Yeah, right. It's like the New Deal.
Right, exactly. Like New Deal number 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Jack Reacher. I think it was more about making sure that like McQuarrie got his like shot in the big leagues.
That's fine. I just maybe I have no idea. Yeah. It's not like this. This is not like the animated movies where there's documentaries on the DVD where all the animators are like, Brad Bird, right? Like it's not like Tom Cruise is like, Brad's interesting,
Because I could see them hitting it off, being like, "Oh, you're another little guy who's super aggro and intense about doing everything right and accepting no apologies or excuses."
I do think they enjoyed making this because Tom Cruise was like, "I'll tell you what I want to do: climb the tallest building in the world," and Brad Bird was like, Yeah, let's do that.
I'll tell you what I want to do. Great. Hang Robert Elswit out of that building.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I want to do. Throw you through a fucking window. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It also feels like he gets Ethan Hunt as a character more because he's kind of Ethan Hunt-like. Like he's the Ethan Hunt of animation, Brad Bird. Where he's just like, fucking do it correctly. Throw me out of this building, you know?
You know, he has...
Crash, boom, crash, explosion, fire.
Appears to be a little bit of fuss over there.
Let's look outside the studio. What is it? Oh my God, someone's just broken through the wall. Ha, 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 ha. It is me, your arch nemesis. The wet transfer.
I didn't know I had an arch nemesis.
Yes, the wet transfer.
What's a ransfer? He is wet, Ben, so you're probably
soaking wet.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you look great.
I'm about 7'2".
Sure.
Yeah. And I like to transfer things.
What? I don't know that verb.
Well, I take a thing from one place and I move it over to another place safely and securely.
Buddy.
My parents named me and I thought I had to live up to the name and I read it and I said, okay, wet transfer. I guess I must be soaking wet.
I see the mistake.
I see what happened here.
What happened?
I think, honestly, maybe something happened with his birth certificate and then
they put the space in the wrong place. You're we transfer.
Yeah. Transfer's not a word.
Well, that makes sense because over 40 million people have been enjoying me for years.
Do you just like send and receive files every month?
Yeah.
Like very easily with no sign in, no offer codes, no password that anyone has to use?
No, never. I would never even dare do that to.
I mean, I would say no mess, but you've destroyed our studio.
Well, that's the sort of transfer part that I think he's been doing wrong. But
I've just been trying to identify what transferring is. I got to be honest. It's sort of a jazz set for me where every time I'm taking a different approach.
But I think at your core, you're just like the kind of company that would like use 30% of your ad space to showcase creative people from around the world. Like
from day one. I've been doing that from day one, of course.
Right, like podcasters like us.
Yes.
And that's why you're here?
Yeah.
Not to transfer.
Well, I mean, now I think probably to transfer. I don't know if you guys have any files you want me to.
We've been using you, honestly. I guess you didn't recognize us.
No, I mean, I got to be honest. I've been so caught up in my own, just who am I? What am I doing?
Oh, well, let me stop you right there, Ransfer. We're going to skip the rest of the 60-second ad and get right back into the podcast. That's WeTransfer.com. You make WeTransfer.
Guess I'll just soliloquy somewhere else outside this gaping hole I've left in the studio. Squash, squash, squash.
He was wet.
He was soaking wet.
That was
he
cool.
was.
Sorry for that, Rachel. We gotta work on security here.
We have interruptions like
almost
every episode.
Very, very frequently.
This guy's been sleeping on the floor.
Hey, let me sleep.
Okay.
Let him sleep.
Roger.
Let him sleep.
Tom Cruise breaks out of the prison. But not before going and getting his
Bogdan.
cellmate.
His buddy Bogdan.
Everyone's favorite character.
He's a good character.
He's like the Yondu of this film.
Sergey! Yeah, he's a little Yondu-esque. Yeah. He's a little, what's Maz Kanata-esque.
Yeah.
It just sort of pops up.
You know, it's like, I always feel like a test of good kind of large-scale filmmaker is understanding the iconography of the movie star they're working with and how to introduce them properly. Mm-hmm. And Brad Bird's introduction shot where he reveals Tom Cruise like from behind in profile in the shadow.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but he's Tom Cruise. That's all you need to see. We get it. We know it's Tom Cruise.
He orchestrates this whole, like, what I love is he's being rescued and Tom Cruise takes over the rescue and makes it, like, he pluses it.
Everyone else gets stressed out because they're like, just do the A to B.
We're just going to drill a hole and you'll come down the hole. No. I got to do all this fun stuff, kick in the head.
He's so good at closing doors.
And then he says, light the fuse.
Yeah.
He lights the fuse. Credit sequence begins. Shows you the whole movie.
Yeah.
And that's just Brad Bird bragging where he's like, you won't believe how fucking good this movie is. Like, look at this. Look at this thing that's going to happen.
Which also he took from the TV show. He said he liked that the opening of the TV show always showed you what was about to happen.
And what else does this movie have that fucking Rogue Nation doesn't have going for it?
What?
Mikey G on the ones and zeros. Giacchino,
why
big
think
strings.
That he scored 5 as well.
He didn't. I mean, 5 is got
mostly classical music.
5 is by the guy who did Jack Reacher, McQuarrie's guy, and I think the 5 score is fine. But this is Giacchino. Like
Giacchino's amazing in this.
Big strings.
It's a very old timey score. Yeah.
Like, whereas, like, remember Mission Impossible 2, Limp Bizkit did the theme, like, they remixed the theme song.
Every time I close my eyes.
I think that wasn't.
Oh, that's the Metallica song.
Yeah.
That's I disappear.
But do you remember that? Like that was like,
of course I do.
A selling point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ben, did you like Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, of course I did.
Did you? Did you go see him?
Hot dog water, baby.
That's just pee, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah, chocolate starfish is a butthole. They're dumb. This is dumb.
Yeah. They were like such a big deal.
Everyone
that Tom Cruise was
them.
like, yeah, they do the theme song for my movie.
I remember reading, I think it was a New York Times profile, Mission Impossible 3, where they were like, Tom Cruise, is he on the edge? Is he about to lose his movie star cool? Because it was like, you know, the year after War of the Worlds.
Right.
And so he was really trying to sell like, no, I'm just a guy. I just love making movies. And he, like, the New York Times reporter goes like, Tom Cruise stared at me intensely and said, wait, do you know that Kanye did the new Mission Impossible theme song? Can I play it for you? And then like Tom Cruise ran out of the room, came back in with a boombox, pressed play, and then wouldn't stop dancing. And the notion that like Tom Cruise had to stand in front of a boombox to the Kanye West version of the Mission Impossible theme, which no one remembers
which I do not remember. Yeah.
And he's like, how fucking good is this? He apparently kept saying stuff like that.
That's like, what he's like at all times.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone says
really,
he's just constantly at a 10.
He's so, hyped up.
Right. So he gets hyphy and he escapes from this prison.
I really do like those interviews with him where people don't ask the real questions and they're just like, you know, I really love Top Gun. He's just like, what a picture. You know, like, he's such a fucking weirdo.
But that's Bird gets it because he's a similar kind of weirdo. I think Bird has a little more humanity, but he like gets the weird intensity of Tom Cruise.
Like there's the Eyes Wide Shut DVD features where they're like, someone's like, and how did you feel when you heard that Kubrick died? And he's just like, horrified. And you're like, everything is too big. But anyway, they rescue him and they tell him, FYI, some dude stole some nuclear codes.
Right.
Josh Holloway is dead. And he's like, Sawyer from Lost?
Yeah. But also
he killed him that fast? Anyone could die.
Also, he's like, why did you guys pull me out of there? And they're like, we thought we were saving you. And he's like, no, it's some bullshit.
He's like, that's red tape.
Yeah.
This is Bogdan, by the way. I love that he shoots him with the dart. And he's like, Bogdan, my friend, you're going to be great. A door opens. He's like, take it away from us. It's all like, you know, we're watching like a ballet performance.
Yes. But this is, Bird hits on this thing that becomes the cornerstone of these McQuarrie pictures, which is Ethan Hunt becomes a character through how other people react to him.
Sure, yeah, he is a little reflective.
The people around him have to be normal so that they can go, who the fuck is this guy?
That's the strangest suggestion. And they're like, well, let's take you to a phone booth. He goes to the phone booth. He learns his mission, right?
Voiced by?
Oh, who is it?
Teddy Newton, who's one of the best Pixar animators, also worked on Iron Giant. He's like one of the best character animators alive.
Right.
But he also plays the voice of like the briefing in The Incredibles.
Yeah. Cool.
No Music Island.
He's got a good voice.
And he is also the chatter telephone in Toy Story 3.
All right, you've gone too far.
I'm saying in Pixar, he always plays a phone or a mission giver.
No, that's cool.
And Brad Bird gives a little tip of the cap. He's got a great old-timey voice.
But I also like, it's at this little junky, like, Serbian phone booth or wherever. And then it's like, it's going to self-destruct. It doesn't. And Tom Cruise is like, come on, self-destruct. And it blows up. And it's Bird being like, this shit's a little dicey for them this time. Like, not everything is, like, working.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't your, human protocol. This is a ghost protocol.
So should we get more claps?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, he goes I once clapped into the microphone and you got so mad at me. I can't remember why. You were like, David, don't clap in the microphone.
Well, yeah, that's just common sense. Don't make a loud clapping noise directly in a microphone.
Okay, Rachel, can you play some booze there? Of course, of booze, like when Dylan went electric. Can you pull that audio?
It fucking loud. Remember how he says that on that?
Yeah.
Where at the end, when they're doing like Rolling Stone and everyone's booing and you hear him say to the band, like, play it fucking loud. I love that. Dylan
is the best.
What a weirdo. He's like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right. He's even better.
Sure. Yes. No.
They get their message.
He's a poet mission. And he knows it.
The mission, if he chooses to accept it,
gets back in the van and he's like, yeah, we gotta break into the Kremlin.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we just orchestrated a whole wonderful action sequence.
About?
You're saying that 15 minutes in, no downtime, we just have to break into the Kremlin? He's like, yeah.
Can I get brunch or something?
No, he's like, no, get your iPad screen projector and your inside out coat that's Russian general on one side and American 80s tourist on the other.
Can I tell you my number one takeaway from this film?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. Jesus.
Wow. Tom Cruise? Mr. Tom, I gave you all the clues.
And the thing is, my point was going to be so good.
No, what's your
point? And now I can never make it.
No, what's your point?
Come on. No, please.
Tom Cruise is so fucking good at taking off and putting on clothes. There are so many sequences in this movie where he has to dramatically throw on a jacket, or the one where he turns the belt into like a zip line, and he's able to like in one gesture just go like. He always makes it seem like it's a Herculean task to put on a coat.
What do you think of the Kremlin scene? It's so good.
Great.
It fucking rules. This is going to be my take on it. This is like the RoboCop episode, but I'm just like, yeah.
I like that they set up this thing that it's like their technology is only like a step ahead of them. And if the Wi-Fi signal is bad, they might be in lockstep with the technology and they have to like kill time while the loading finishes.
Yeah.
That thing, it's such a good Bird moment. But when they're at the security check-in and Benji's trying to get Tom Cruise's profile loaded into their system, his eyes rather, so that he'll register as the general that he's pretending to be.
Right. Yeah.
And Tom Cruise like is waiting. You're not in the system. Yeah. Tom Cruise looks down, sees the phone. It says like 87%.
Right. Yeah.
And then the camera just tilts up to Tom Cruise's face.
Yeah.
Like he's so good at linking those moments where it's like about like what's the information, which characters know it, where are they? It's just basic fucking filmmaking that he makes look so effortless.
It's so funny.
Good visual storytelling. Paula Patton's outside, pretend to be
the little whirly
handy
gig.
camera. Right.
Yeah, right.
But then they get inside. This is my favorite device. Maybe in the whole Mission Impossible franchise.
Agreed. It's so crazy.
It's so cool.
It's so fucking funny. Also, it's so convoluted, and Bird communicates everything about it without any words being spoken. No one explains what this thing is.
Right.
They just set it up. It's a weird projection screen.
This is the best part of the sequence is they can't talk because the guy's right there.
Right. There's a camera in the back that takes a picture of what's behind it. There's a camera in the front that locks to your eyes. And then it scans everything and just like... It's so clever.
This is like his Buster Keaton
It's so
movie.
good. It is.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Right.
Or ballet dance, as I already suggested.
So they pull off this fucking incredible thing where they pretend that they are not in the hallway, but they are in the hallway. I also like the sound throwing flashlight where he makes the drips.
Love that thing.
Yeah.
Very low-fi.
I like it, though.
No, that's why I like it, where they're like, let's set up the crazy iPad machine. How are we going to distract them? Oh, we'll make it sound like there's a leak.
That's the other...
Right?
The other big flag that I think Mission Impossible plants on this film is we're going to be the analog franchise.
Uh-huh.
Like, despite being the franchise that's all based in, like, tech and gadgetry, we're going to start showing how the gadgetry works in a way that's, like, process-based. And also, this could be the franchise about, like, we shoot shit for real.
Well, that's right. That's more of it. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Those action scenes can't be like previs nonsense.
Right.
Like, they need to be like real stunts that are very elaborate.
And the three films before this were like more hip, I would say. And Brad Bird is not concerned with hip.
No.
He is very into cool.
Right.
Another mic adjustment. Oh my God. I keep on knocking it down. I think I have a limp mic. I think I have a sad Eeyore mic. Ben is now adjusting the adjustment again.
Oh yeah, he's giving you a little tilt.
Clever girl. To Ben, not to Rachel. Sorry, that would have sounded diminutive. He is all into coolness.
Okay,
and this movie's just like very crisp, very clean.
Yes. It is.
It's the opposite of sweaty. It's very like it's made to look effortless.
Agreed, but then not afraid to be slapsticky because like this thing with the iPad, there's all these funny like where they're like just ducking out of the camera just in time, and it's so much fun.
But they set the rules of the sequence up very clearly.
Yep,
entirely visually.
They do the sequence. They do successfully break into the data vault that they're looking for this cobalt info, but. Nothing there. Tom Cruise walks out. Who does he walk by?
Michael Nyqvist. Nyqvist.
The girl with the dragon tattoo himself.
Who is now passed.
I know. That's actually very sad.
Yeah. You want to hear a story I heard about him that's good? To eulogize?
Sure.
So he, of course, is in John Wick as the big bad, the first John Wick.
He's the one who says, "Oh."
Yes.
It's a good line.
There is a scene where someone...
It really is a good line.
There's a scene where someone pushes him up against a wall. And in the process, on the day, they cracked his head open.
Oh.
They thought it was a gag. Everyone was like, in that movie.
Wow.
It's literally someone like holding up against a wall and going like, "Where's John Wick?" or whatever it is, right?
And he was like a Swedish leading man in his day, but he's in his 50s at this point.
He's in his 50s now. And he hits the wrong side, like the angle, cracks his head open, gushing blood. And visible on the front. So they were like, what can we do? Can we go to the makeup department? Can they fix something? And Michael Nyqvist was like, no, I'm just going to wear a hat for the rest of the movie. And that's why for half of John Wick,
he has a hat on,
and not a continuous half.
Right.
Just 50% of his shots. Sometimes his hat appears or disappears within a sequence.
I feel like that movie was like, everyone was like, yeah, fine.
Yeah,
this thing's not going to be like a franchise.
I just love it. He was like, here's my solution. And he went to a Spencer's Gifts, put on a fedora. He just wears a fedora.
Where's your nearest lids?
Yeah.
Siri, where is lids?
R.I.P.
He plays the villain.
A non-entity.
Cobalt. Kurt Hendricks.
Sure.
Rather than, Mission Impossible 1, the villain turns out to be like John Voight, and it's like,
spoiler alert.
Inside the mission.
Right.
Mission Impossible 2, the villain is Dougray Scott. It's a real whiff.
Right. The real villain was
Tom Cruise, John Woo. I don't know.
No,
running time.
The production manager on Mission Impossible 2 who stopped Dougray Scott from being able to be an X-Men.
That guy's a hero.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 3, the villain is Philip Seymour Hoffman. Big villain. Like, first time they really just were like, so this guy's going to play the bad guy, no fooling.
Great performance for one of our finest ever actors.
Fantastic villain stuff. In this one, they were like, we have too much shit going on. We don't need a villain. The villain is literally just a guy who wants to blow up the world for no reason. That's it. There's no time. My guess is there might have been more of this.
I imagine there had.
And I think McQuarrie was just like, the villain doesn't matter. Like, this is all about Cruise and the team. Like, just forget the villain. The villain is like them not pulling off all these wonderfully choreographed stunts. That's what you don't want to happen. I mean, Léa Seydoux is like a good B villain because she is kind of scary and tough. And steely.
Mission Impossible 3 is like a movie that very consciously, in its like self-knowing wink wink J.J. Abrams way, is all about the MacGuffin because everyone's trying to figure out what the White Rabbit is. And in the end, it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's a mystery, whatever. And this movie's like, we're not even going to pretend that you're supposed to care.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down why bad guys do this stuff because I'm
Great question.
I love how there's a YouTube clip where he's just like, a lot of people think the world should continue to exist as it is. What I'm proposing is, what if we killed everyone? That might be fun.
What do you think?
That's an idea, right? Just blow everyone up?
Yeah.
Right?
Nukes.
Do that.
Yeah, right. That's his justification. His justification is he wants everyone to die.
It's great. You don't need more. You don't need like, because my father hit me.
Exactly.
And
that's what I love about
hate bombs because he made them.
What I love, and it's right at the end, the only really crazy thing he does, where Cruise is like, I've got you. Now you can't. I've got you. I've got a gun with you. And he's like, you forgot. I want to die, and I don't care about anything. I'm throwing myself off this fucking parking lot, right? And
I just think Sean Harris has a little more flavor.
I'm quite mixed on Sean Harris. I really enjoy him.
Yeah.
I don't know that movie really knows what it's doing with him because they are just trying to be like, let's have a Ethan Hunt villain.
Scary man.
The scary man who also seems to just be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Then they cast Sean Harris, who I enjoy.
Yes.
A contender for the Ben Hosley story.
He could be a Ben.
A contender.
He could be a Ben.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, I guess.
Ben's got more of a chin than he does.
That's true. Yes.
I remember seeing Rogue Nation with a friend of the show, Orlando Ollier, and he turned to me and went, "Oh, so that's why Sean Harris always has a beard."
It's funny. But anyway, all right. So the villain, is not really a villain. Forget.
Right.
They fail in their mission. Not only do they fail in their mission, the Kremlin blows up.
But he succeeds in one mission.
What?
Turning his jacket inside out very quickly,
right,
looking really
like
cool while doing it. He also takes all his makeup off in like one gesture.
Yeah,
it's a really cool transformation.
It's so much fun.
That's also when I think he looks sexiest the entire movie, is where he's wearing the glasses with the Springsteen shirt, flicking on that jacket.
Put it away.
Put it away.
What you're talking about here, I agree with, which is like there is so much delight in these movies, like Bogdan being taken out of the van, in just like a fluid transition, like executed seamlessly. Bird knows how to make that seem like an action sequence all by itself.
He's very good at
his phone right
the
now.
musicality. He's looking at Sean Harris
in kind of like a grandpa way, where he's like sort of holding the phone up to his face. What do you think?
He could do it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like anytime there's a sort of skinny guy with red hair, I'm like, could he play Ben Hosley? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a little. I'm painting with a broad brush.
Yeah. Ron Howard.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Ron Howard. Ron
Howard could play old Ben. If there's like a time traveling Ben film.
Oh, Ben from the future.
You know, he could play future Ben.
Definitely.
And we were like, Ben, what happened? You were like, all the bits.
A lot of bits.
They finally got to me.
They caught up with me, the bits.
The great bit war of 2049.
So Kremlin blows up.
Yeah.
This is when Ghost Protocol gets activated.
It gets initiated.
The most famous moment of the movie.
Cruise is knocked
Ghost
out.
Protocol.
Wakes up in a hospital, handcuffed.
Wilkinson gets shot in the head.
Well, first we
you're right.
introduced to our detective
because there's the
character,
explosion. Oh, who I love.
who's like, hey, it's me. I'm finally here, the star of this movie. This is a movie about a detective who catches a terrorist.
Vladimir Mashkov. Right. He's like the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern where he's like, he's got a whole story that's happening.
Right. I'm Tom Cruise. I'm the star of this picture.
Someone blew up the Kremlin.
Yeah.
This is a very big deal to Russia, right? This is bad.
Here's a guy who was impersonating a general, 1-to-1. Done.
And
We've solved the case.
There
Connect
was some
the dots.
weird broadcast where it's like, this is the work of the Tom Cruise. Goodbye. Right? Like, you know, like.
And earlier today, Tom Cruise, the movie star, was spotted filming near the Kremlin.
I love this guy. And I wouldn't love him if he didn't have the arc where at the end he was like, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is like, good, that's great. I wanted you to figure it out.
But for most of it, he feels kind of like the teacher in Incredibles who keeps on trying to catch Dash, leaving the thumbtacks on the seat.
Right. Sure.
Spoiler.
No, we already did that one. Remember, Ben?
Yeah. Now I remember.
Love you, Ben.
Ron Howard, Ben remembers because he's further in the future.
That's right.
So Tom Cruise, very quickly, another beautiful, just like very quietly established. Nurse leaves her folder on the gurney.
Mm-hmm.
He immediately picks out the paper clip.
Yeah, he escapes.
All the papers fly away, which they don't pick up on.
Right.
I just love that detail of like, if they were paying attention, they would have noticed he had the paper clip.
Right.
Because suddenly the papers are floating all over the place. And then he escapes.
Right. He walks out onto the roof. The Russian guy catches him, and he's like, what are you doing?
He looks like an overstuffed hot dog.
Yeah.
Right? He does. He looks like too much meat stuffed into casing.
Sure, right. Yeah, he looks like a cheesesteak.
This is when his body starts looking weird.
Yeah.
I think his face is looking great. His body needs to take it down a notch.
Okay, fair enough.
But he whips off that belt.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Tom Cruise fashion, zip lines out of there.
Damn right.
He's so insane.
That's part of Ghost Protocol.
What a crazy man.
Zipline protocol.
So then he calls, gets picked up by Wilkinson and Jeremy Renner. Hey, here's my secretary. Here's a pencil pusher played by Academy Award nominee Jeremy Renner. He's only going to be here for a minute.
There's also the scene where Tom Cruise, in that scene, draws Michael Nyquist's face on his hand, and Jeremy Renner's like, "Oh yeah, no, of course, that's what's it, Kurt Hendricks."
No, he throws him some shade. He goes, "Well, the drawing's a little crude, but based off your description." Like Renner, this is why I love.
Tom Cruise puts a fucking oil painting on his hand, and Renner's like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess that's him."
Right. Renner is the dude who's just doing his job. And he's like, we don't need these fucking crazy movie star IMF agents. Just get a guy who shows up, gets it done.
Right.
By the book. So he's
an analyst.
He's an analyst.
That's his position.
Right. But Wilkinson initiates Ghost Protocol.
Right. No more IMF. Yeah. Everyone's disavowed. If you get caught, you're in the wind.
You could almost describe it as a rogue nation.
Rogue Nation is the Syndicate, right? Like that's what that is.
I just love that the two films have titles that could kind of be interchangeable.
Right.
You could call either thing the opposite thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the first of 3 movies where the IMF is disbanded and Tom Cruise has to kind of go rogue.
Mm-hmm.
But before Wilkinson can even finish offering him his condolences,
shot in the head.
Boom, gone. Car plunges to the bottom.
Yeah, now Cruise and Brandt have to hang out. Cruise and Renner.
Right. And Renner is just like, how do you fucking know that flare thing was going to work?
I know. They keep doing, Cruise keeps doing like, let's try this. Yeah. And Renner's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why did
Renner
that work?
keeps on asking, like, how did you know that? And he's like, I don't know, a hunch? Yeah. He's like, what do you mean hunch? He's like, I'm number 1 on the call sheet. This is how these movies work.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they get on a magic train. And
love the train.
Train's good.
Train's probably my favorite thing in the movie.
And also, again, like, that's Bird having fun. Like, where it's like, put the code in. Okay, here's the code. Oh, Oh, it wants an eye scan. Like, get your eyes scanned.
Brad Bird's also talked about that, like, for him, the moment that kind of sums up his filmmaking philosophy is that Han Solo has to kind of hit the Millennium Falcon before he gets it started.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, if you're doing high genre stuff, you need those moments that are recognizably small and human and kind of funny.
Or else it's just watching like machines on rails. Like, right. Yeah.
But also it places you in the shoes of those characters. You go, okay, now I get it because they're dealing with the same basic struggles that I am, even if the larger struggles are uncommon. So the struggle of Tom Cruise to get enough momentum to be able to eye scan onto the train for long enough.
Right.
With all the like poles and stuff moving, it's just really fun. And they get on the train, and it's a cool little high tech lab. Here are old friends, Paula Patton and Benji.
Yeah,
and he just lets them know this is all that's left.
Right, this is us.
It's us. This is us.
This
NBC
is
Thursdays, and this is all the equipment we have left. Take what you can. Here's the mission. If you want to come, cool. If not, cool.
I get it. Right. And everyone, like Brant's nursing some kind of weird, anxiety. Like he seems weird.
Yeah,
we don't find that out till later.
He's like a kid on a family vacation. Yeah. Like at the age where it stopped being cool to hang out with your family.
Benji's all in. Peg's just fun.
Well, he's a huge Tom Cruise fan. He wants to be. He wants to be in a Mission Impossible. He's been pushing. He's so proud that he's in the field.
Yeah, he's in the field now.
And he says that at the Kremlin.
He's like, I made field.
This is so exciting to be on a mission like this with you. You know.
Oh yeah, in the Kremlin too, where he's like, also, I'm sorry your wife left you.
Yeah.
That I didn't know when to mention this.
Yeah.
Like just so we have that.
And Cruise just doesn't respond.
Yeah, Cruise just sort of looks at him.
Yeah.
And then Paula Patton she's nurse and she's sad because Sawyer died, and that means anyone could die.
Dead hubby.
And also, they were married.
Right. And this mission's now personal.
But also, she's just really worried about how the stakes were raised by the death of Josh Holloway.
And she's explained to Tom Cruise how she feels like she fucked that one up.
Right. It's her fault. Like,
right. Right. She mishandled the mission, led to his death. And now she's got some skin in the game, emotionally speaking. So now they go to the tallest building in the world.
The Burj Khalifa, which had just been built.
Yes. And still is the tallest building in the world, correct?
It is. They are building a building in Saudi Arabia that the Burj Khalifa is 2,722 feet long.
Yeah. Too big.
Tall. Very absurdly tall. Like Ben, when it was built, it was far taller than any other building.
What do you think about it, Ben?
It's fucking the best.
Have you been to Dubai?
3 times.
Really? Wait, really?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because beautiful city, very futuristic. And I have not had an opportunity to get into that big old building. But it's on my bucket list.
Ben does weekend there, though. He
weekends there. He has a timeshare.
Yeah.
So the Burj Khalifa.
You guys don't have a timeshare?
Haven't been to Dubai. No.
Dubai?
So the Burj Khalifa, 2,700.
Better get on it.
2,700 feet high, right? 828 meters. The Jeddah Tower, which is under construction, should be built in the next few years.
Okay.
Is going to be 1 kilometer high.
Dumb, too much.
Which is 3,280 feet. So a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And they're only building it to be that tall, so it will be 1 kilometer high. It will be the first kilometer high building.
Yeah, and the worst thing is
what?
It's a walk up. It's a walk up, David.
Oh God. So it's going to be in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
It's going to be tall.
A good setting for this kind of movie because they're in a weird state of developing very aggressively, but it still is largely a desert. So you have them on the road trying to steer around camels.
Sure.
And as the camera pulls up, it's like, oh, here's the biggest fucking building in the world. Here is a rocket ship in the middle of sand dunes.
Yeah, and also it's very James Bondy, which I appreciate. Yeah. That James Bond thing of what's a cool new place we can send him that we haven't been before. Right?
But the real gag was, what's a thing that Tom Cruise can do that will show everyone what no other movie star is willing to do?
Yeah,
let's hang him off the tallest building in the world.
In 3, it was he'll run down this long fucking bridge and we'll shoot a missile and he'll bounce around.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fun stunt.
But also has a lot of effects in it.
I like that stunt though.
I do too.
But then this
is right.
I saw this in theaters.
Yeah.
With Joseph Sims.
Yeah.
Who was just on the pod.
Longtime brother of yours.
And I've said it. I think I've said it on this pod. This is the last time I gasped watching a film theatrically,
sure,
from shock at him jumping in through the window.
The one that gets me is the first shot.
The first shot, just where they're this is real. He's off the fucking building.
I mean, they get there. They're a weird skeleton crew, doesn't really know each other. They don't have a lot of equipment, but they're here's the plan.
Right. There's a meeting happening.
Right.
Léa Seydoux is going to sell the nuclear codes to Copal.
So let's make a couple masks.
Right.
Pretend to be those guys, have a meeting with her.
Have 2 meetings.
Right.
Will be on one side of each meeting.
Doesn't that come later as a solution? Okay.
No, the solution, or the thing that they have to improvise is, rather than scramble the codes, which I think they're going to be able to do, is they're going to actually have to do the deal. They'll give him the real codes.
Right, and this is another cool piece of technology. They got the contact lenses,
double
Holloway has in the
blink
beginning.
print. It's so good.
And the briefcase is a printer. I just love
I love it.
Love it.
And I like how, shit doesn't work, right? Like the mask machine breaks.
Right.
But they do still have like enough gadgets to have like Simon Pegg's like third arm contraption.
Right, but they're kind of sort of having to jerry rig it. They're exactly. Like improvising. But they realize that the thing they need to do is they're making it look like there are 2 of the same hotel rooms. So they have to rig the elevator to make it stop.
Elevator.
Right.
They have to change the door signs. And they have to like break into the server room so they can control the elevator.
Well, that's what they realize. Right. At first, Benji thinks he can hack it.
Can't hack it.
Cannot hack it. Well, then how do I get inside? Only from the outside.
Right.
So it's like, so what are we going to do? And he's like, what do you mean we? You're Tom Cruise.
Right.
Go hang
I believe
out
his exact line is, I'm on the computer.
Yeah. I'm the computer guy. Yeah.
And I love a bunch of things I love about the sequence. One is that Tom Cruise, rather than being like, that's not possible, he's just like, God, all right. It's like he's being asked to do something annoying at work. Right.
And also, Brad Bird sets up the language so clearly of like, here's the glove, blue is glue, red is dead, you got to peel it off.
It's a slow, remember, just thinking about blue is glue and what's red? Dead. Anyway, that's, I love that delivery.
Right, it's a slow peeling motion.
Slow peel, a roll.
The shot that just destroys me and still works on a home screen, but on IMAX,
on IMAX especially, it's insane. And this is IMAX photography, so suddenly the screen is bigger.
The shot, the ratio changes.
Right,
it's boxy, tall.
Yeah.
The shot where it starts on Cruise's back now that he's all suited up, and then goes like over his shoulder, over to the edge of the building.
Right,
and you see from over his shoulder all the way down to the ground, everything's in focus.
Right.
Like infinite depth of field is insane.
Yes.
I don't love heights. I wouldn't consider myself to be someone who has like a tremendous fear of heights.
I have a tremendous fear of heights.
The fuck out at that shot.
Also.
And I don't think I've rewatched this movie in whole maybe since it came out, but I watched that sequence at least once a year.
I've watched you had not rewatched this movie?
I maybe had seen it once.
I've seen this movie like a dozen times.
I've seen Rogue Nation like 5 times.
I mean, I've seen Rogue Nation like
I've probably seen this
too.
2 times, maybe 1.5 times before last night, and then rewatched it.
Blah.
But I watched this sequence all the fucking time.
Okay.
Because it's so goddamn good. And Brad Bird is so good at, we've talked about how he's good with scale. Good at showing things are big, good at showing things are little.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of dumb filmmakers would have hung Tom Cruise for real out of the tallest building in the world and shot it and cut it in a way where you didn't believe it was real.
That's true. You can actually mess it up.
You can fucking mess it up. Len Wiseman would have fucked it up.
All right. God, poor Len Wiseman getting thrown under the bus. He's like, what did I do?
But those guys where it's
I know.
It's going to look like you shot it in a studio. He is always so aware of framing
You're going to cut too much. Yes.
Yeah, and leaving a lot of negative space in the frame so you can see around Tom Cruise how far away everything else is.
Yeah.
In the distance, behind him, below him, all of that. It is horrifying. And then one of the gloves stops working. So he has to throw it off.
Almost immediately.
Right.
He has to throw it off.
Stick somewhere else.
I like how it sticks somewhere else.
Yeah.
The gloves. Ben, you like it? But what I like, and you can talk, Ben. You're our guest. Well, he's just not talking to me. What I like is Tom Cruise never says, the fucking gloves aren't working.
Right.
Or like, shit, I have to do something now. He's just like,
he's self-sufficient.
All right, I'll just do something else. I guess I'll just sort of hop up on one glove. And
Renner's giving him a countdown clock. And that's the one moment he kind of breaks where he's like, don't need that.
Countdown not helping.
Yeah. I wonder watching this though, like I would have been so terrified as the camera operator on this sequence.
Uh-huh.
Like
sure. I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
They'd be like, do you want to do this? And I'd be like, no, I resign.
Yeah.
From the film.
Yeah. Well, but Tom agreed to do it. And it's like, that's Tom Cruise. He's fucking insane.
Crazy. I don't know. He is immortal or something.
If I were the camera operator, I would have just gotten a really long stick. And I just would have adjusted everything with a stick. I'd get like a 6-foot like back scratcher.
I mean,
and just try to pull focus like that.
I refuse to go in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like in a helicopter.
You hate
for
planes.
any reason.
You do that all the time.
I do refuse to do that all the time.
Every day.
I hate planes, but I'll go in them. But I mean, a helicopter shot is a relatively common film, like big budget film shot.
Right. Well,
I would refuse to get in a helicopter.
For context, Audio Boom's on the 6th floor of this building.
Yes.
But they don't have an elevator.
Right.
No,
you gotta copter up.
So you have to copter up straight to the side.
And then you gotta jump like Cruise going like, ah.
Right.
Yeah.
He refuses to do it.
Yeah. I don't know, David. I mean, I think they're going to eventually maybe install an elevator. Everyone else seems to like the copter, though.
Yeah. Everyone's having a grand old time.
Seems like a little bit of a waste of fuel.
I don't know.
We'll talk about it one day in full, but in the Armageddon commentary, there's a helicopter in the background of one scene, and Affleck's like, see that fucking helicopter? $200,000 that costs. Helicopter doesn't do anything. No one gets in it. No one gets out of it. It's just there. And I asked Michael, why do we have the helicopter? And he was like, shut up, man.
Cool.
It's so good.
Cool.
It's so expensive.
Very cool. Very cool. Very chill.
Boy.
Very cool.
Oh, God.
He finally gets up with the one glove, has to break through the glass. Oh, because he drops the thing.
He kicks through like by himself.
Drops the glass cutter, kicks through, gets in. Works everything out, but now doesn't know how to get back down.
Yeah, they're like, you got to come back down. And he's like, and they're like, what?
Right.
like it's his fault.
Right. So he like tethers himself.
Yes. And he runs down.
Right. Which is such a cool shot.
Yeah.
But then, I can't believe it. Tom Cruise didn't measure correctly the amount of tether he needed.
Right.
On a snap judgment, last second decision. And so now he has to do this like crazy jump in.
So good.
That moment when
he's free,
they catch him and it's Renner hanging out, grabbing him by the foot.
Right.
Paula Patton's grabbing Renner.
Yeah.
They all flip back up in, and they all just kind of like lie there on the ground, catching their breath for a little bit.
It's like they're just fucked.
And they play the like kind of understated like dung da dung da dung 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 dung. And it's such a nice moment of like, oh, you're actually living with how fucking insane that would be the second it was done. And then Simon Pegg walks in and he's like
I changed all the hotel signs.
Not easy. Yeah. Right. And then Mass Machine is broken, but they still go ahead with it anyway. Can I say how nice their suits are in this sequence?
Yeah, they look good.
They look so fucking good.
Again, fashion expert. Nice
clean,
clothes.
Nice present.
Renner wears a suit very well.
He
actually,
does.
He's small too, right? Like he's sort of maybe not Cruise size, but he's kind of small.
Yeah.
He's got a little more to him.
Yeah,
he's got a little more.
Like there's that scene in Mumbai where he takes his jacket off and he starts like getting ready.
Yeah,
and he looks great.
Yeah, their suits are really well cut in this. He's got a great butt.
Yeah,
and also Cruise, his suit has a little shine to it.
Yeah,
it's a little shiny. And that's the kind of thing where you're like, is that going to age poorly? Is that like so of the moment? Well, here we are. We're like fucking years out from it. 2 Mission Impossible films ago. Suit still looks immaculate.
Yeah.
Looks perfect. Timeless cool.
No, he looks good. And I like this scene's very Bondy, where it's like, yes, they have
a confidence game.
Little gadgets, but they also just have to perform.
Right.
And when they walk in, like someone on the mic is like, wait, what if they've met before? And they're like, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then there's that moment where they're like, which one of you is blah? And she echoes the line downstairs.
Yeah.
Like one of them, which one of you is Hendrix?
Right, that's cool that Paula Patton is going off
Patton's,
the script.
Right, like, which one of you is Hendrix?
Yeah.
Love it.
Who are your guys?
Who are your guys?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
they should have locked the window on this one.
Jesus Christ. David, we don't have time for jokes like this, okay? We have to talk about the movie at hand. They seem to be pulling it off without a hitch. Simon Pegg does this cool little hand Monty.
Oh, yeah.
And then, boom, Lea Seydoux notices.
Pulls Renner in. Renner's he's the sweatiest.
Yes.
You see him fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little too nervous with the blinking.
He's a little too nervous. He's not quite an A-lister yet. And she notices the contact lens.
I love it. Love to tap that foot.
I like that Rachel isn't taking any shit.
No, she is keeping us in
none
line.
of our bullshit.
Rachel, I've been doing this. Eyes. Yeah, I've been doing this with them. Like this is, I don't even know.
3 years now.
3 years, but like episode 160 or something.
Yeah, we should actually figure out what number it is.
We're the kids that he's given up trying to rear.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
With him,
I just
have
all
bad
over the
habits.
walls.
No, but I love it. And honestly, it's making the record better.
I'm very fidgety as a person.
And pointing out those things. I've done it so much.
Yeah, we don't listen, though.
And
we don't respect them.
Nope. And then he eats a bagel and it gets crumbs everywhere. And I'm just like, that's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be.
To be fair, I don't do as much of that shit.
You asked for a bagel twist today.
I did. I was hungry.
And it was good, right?
Yeah, twisty.
You can taste the cheddar.
Yeah, definitely. The white cheddar.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You're excused. All right, Ben, I know this is weird, but I want to talk to you about sleeping.
Okay.
You know how you sleep in a bed?
Yes.
Bed needs sheets.
That's true.
Sleep in bed needs sheets.
Yeah.
I've literally never felt evangelical about sheets in my entire life. Mm-hmm. But we have friends at the show, brooklinen.com.
Okay.
They give you very comfortable sheets with no markup. They were founded by a husband and wife team that wanted to make, nice sheets with no crazy prices. So I'm a host of the show. They provide the hosts with free sheets, so we can try it out and use the sheets and endorse them. And I literally will spend time in my bed to be in the sheets. That's not for sleeping. Like, maybe I have some work to do. Mm-hmm. Should be doing it at a desk. No, I want to get in the sheets. Really, get in bed and do my work.
That sounds really nice.
I got the Lux brand. They got a bunch of different kinds.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I'm a Lux guy. I'm a Taurus. And it's one of those things where you're at the Bed Bath & Beyond, you're how much better is more thread. It's so freaking soft. I know this sounds corny, but I genuinely enjoy getting into bed in a way that I did not before. This is a very genuine endorsement of this product. I want them to sponsor us more, and not they're going to give us more sheets.
Right. Well, as someone who is an insomniac,
you got some Brooklynins.
I did not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay, but
I don't mean to rub it in.
No,
you should get some.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe invest because I have so much trouble sleeping that I think maybe this will help with my sleep ritual.
It makes you happy to go to bed.
All right, so now
it has helped with my sleep ritual. I know this sounds corny. It has genuinely helped with my sleep ritual.
Oh, I believe it. All right, so I'm going to use this offer that also then tell our listeners about, which is the Brooklinen sheets are the best, apparently, as David said.
Get that Lux brand.
They're the most comfortable sheets that David has ever slept on, apparently.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
So Brooklinen.com has an exclusive offer just for our listeners. You can get $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code CHECK at brooklinen.com.
Brooklinen is so confident they will offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all their sheets and comforters. And the only way to get $20 off and free shipping is to use promo code CHECK at brooklinen.com.
That's BROOKLINEN.com, promo code CHECK.
Best sheets ever.
So now the fucking gloves are off, Lacey is kicking ass, and there's a great shot of Paula Patton just taking off her heels and running up to take care of business.
Actually, it's good, right?
Yeah. 2 Mission Impossible movies in a row where before the female member has to do something crazy, she removes her high heels.
Yes. Good point. Didn't think of that.
Anti-Colin Trevorrow, we call that move.
Patton's so fun.
Yeah. There's a move.
Kicks her out a window.
There are a lot of gestures in this movie I think about a lot. I don't quote lines from this film, but I quote poses. There's some fun dancing going on outside the audio boom window. Paula Patton, when she's fighting Léa Seydoux, does this pose where one fist is all the way here. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When she's trying to fend off Léa Seydoux and one fist is
yeah, but Rachel wants you to lean into the mic.
I'm leaning in, but I was trying to do the impression of the fist. Okay, Mom.
Woo!
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes, I know the pose you're referencing.
Right.
Good pose.
Yes. They end up kicking her out a window.
Yeah, they do.
Tom Cruise is not happy about it.
Rip.
You let your emotions get the better of you.
Yes, he thinks that she kicked her out the window because she's mad about her husband, which is true. But I also think it's that lady is scary.
He also wasn't there in that moment.
He is going to kill them.
She had a wine opener, right? She had a wine bottle opener. Mm-hmm. She was flipping out.
Yeah.
And guess what? Not our fault that we had to open a whole window so you could run the fucking side of the building to get the marketing hook you need for your poster.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. just to like because now at this point the movie does slow down slightly. I mean, now
there's one more great sequence.
Well, there's the car chase right after this.
The sandstorm.
Yeah, the sandstorm.
Which they set up
chase.
when he's on the building. I just like that's like we
know
we're on this
right.
set piece right here, but just want to let you know what the next set piece on the horizon.
Oh, it's a sandstorm, but that's a while away. That won't be an issue.
It's at least 10, 12 minutes away.
Right. And then you got the car chase where he's following the paper, the radioactive paper.
Yeah.
And I mean, the best part of this is just the stunt of the car like flipping over him, right?
Yeah.
Like I just love that.
I just love the audacity of being like, we're going to do a big like car/foot chase where the gimmick is that you can't see what's happening.
Right.
Where he can't see and you can't see. You know?
Agreed.
He's got a scarf, shiny suit's getting a little dusty, pulls off the mask, realizes it's Nyquist.
Right. Yes, was pretending to be his henchman.
Now, this is where I think the movie peaks.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Literally, we had the prison, we had, the train sequence, the prison, the Kremlin, this.
Right.
It's all just like that, like
gangbusters.
absolutely no pausing. Finally, the movie has to pause.
And we're like an hour and 40, and now it sets up the character dynamics.
Right. And then it's like, Tom Cruise is like, well, what do we do now? Also, Jeremy Renner, like, you're an analyst?
Right.
Come on. Like, they finally have to, like, bug each other.
Renner does some cool gun posing, and he's like, how did an analyst know that?
Yeah.
And then cards are flipped over.
Renner pulls the gun, Cruise pulls the gun, Renner pulls it back.
Right.
Like, all in one little, like...
Renner was a field agent. He was supposed to look after an agent and his wife. He lost the wife. It was Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
what a twist.
Right.
What a bagel twist.
Cheddar.
Clearly a fix to justify why Renner was
I
there
keep
later.
saying silly things because I'm trying to lure Ben back to the microphone, and he's just leaning back, just taking it easy.
But it is brought in so late as a character wrinkle.
I know, but I love it.
I think it's good. But that's where the sort of last-minute scrambling nature of the script's construction shows for me.
Because to me, it's just like, that's the mystery of the movie. You drop them, you solve the mystery at the start of the third act. Is like, what's the deal with Renner? And then they're finally like, this is the deal with Renner. Also, this is kind of the deal with Tom Cruise. Because people are sort of like, I thought he got married in Mission Impossible.
Why was
3.
he willingly in a jail?
Is the explanation literally just his wife left him? Like, that's all we're going to do after all that shoe leather in 3 with the...
Well, no, you know the explanation.
What?
There can only be one female character per movie. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, no,
it does bum me out so hard that Patton isn't in Rogue Nation.
I don't know why.
I think she should just be on the fucking team. Bums me
Je
out.
ne sais pas.
Yeah, I hate it.
3 has Kerry Russell, Maggie Q, and Michelle Monaghan, but none of them really dominate. It's sort of like...
Kerry Russell dies very early on.
Yeah, but she's really good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Maggie Q's on the team the whole time, doesn't have a lot to do. Michelle Monaghan is
the wife.
Is the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does, yes. It sucks that that's the most.
That one sort of spreads, yeah.
Right. And 1 has Kristen Scott Thomas and Emmanuel Bear.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Bear.
2 has Tandy Newton, but the 2 has less team stuff.
Yeah.
She's
2
less
is
teamy.
a solo mission. He has no team.
It's also
Ving Rhames.
the only bad movie in this franchise.
Yeah, but it's kind of the best sort of bad movie.
It's okay. It just has a lot less action.
Yeah.
And the non-action stuff sucks.
I loved it at the time because it was like the first quote-unquote grown-up action movie I was allowed to see.
Oh, you sound like a fucking idiot.
Okay, blame my mom. Blame my fucking mom, David.
For taking you to see it?
No, for not taking me to see earlier films that I would have enjoyed more and provided me a greater context for what the bar was.
So, final mission. We're going to go to Mumbai.
Yeah.
We're going to intercept him because he needs a satellite to launch his nuke. We're going to get that satellite.
I kind of get checked out of the movie at this point.
Well, I kind of check you out. Whatever.
What do you
Fuck
think?
You.
You like what you see?
Yeah, I love it.
Like what you see?
I check you out and I see a dunce.
A dunce? Well, this did not go how I planned it. No. I thought he was going to compliment me.
No, you're
checking me
boy.
out. I thought, well, thank you.
How's Raya going?
Well, please, I can't talk about this. First rule of Raya, you can't talk about
Is
Raya.
it really? Does it say that when you load the app?
No, you're not allowed to screen grab it.
Oh, yeah.
I may or may not have finally been accepted onto an exclusive dating app
Here's my
for
question.
famos.
Here's my question.
Yes.
If you have a second phone, take a picture of your screen with the second phone.
Great question. So I asked my manager about this recently.
Did you really?
I did really. And she said she thinks they might be utilizing a technology that she knows has been used for like top secret scripts.
Uh-huh.
Where they're like, hey, here's an audition for this thing. it's fucking Deadpool 7.
Sure. Right.
Secret sides, don't photograph them.
This one, he doesn't know he's in a movie.
Right. She had a client.
What? He forgot.
Oh, that's a twist. You're ruining this for fucking everybody.
Secret sides.
That's 5 Deadpools from now.
Secret sides, and like your name is watermarked into them.
She had a client who was sent secret sides, and it was like you can't download them, you can't print them, you can view them on one device. And he wanted to save them in some kind of way, so he tried to use a different phone to take a picture of that phone.
Ooh.
And the app recognized.
That's crazy.
And like blacked out.
What?
And was like, no.
No, excuse me.
So she was like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it is. Because I've gotten so many fucking Riot profiles that I want to send you specifically.
No kidding.
I've been telling you
just
off
sort of
mic.
like lovingly describe them to me in text form.
But the thing with Raya, and I say this while making it very unclear whether or not I am a member. Who knows? It's a great mystery, like whether or not Deadpool knows he's in a movie.
Yeah.
But if I were on this platform, I would maybe perceive that the profiles are like slideshows where you pick a song and then animate a bunch of photos to it. So it's really funny to see how some of these famous think they can define themselves through a musical montage.
Let me guess. Mostly Coldplay.
A lot of Talking Heads, because you have to remember it's famous, so it's kind of artsy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm never going to date anyone for the rest of the time. So they go to Dubai.
Yep.
And they meet Anil Kapoor.
Mm-hmm. Who is a gigantic Bollywood star.
He offers them 10,000 rupees.
Slumdog
Millionaire joke, I don't know.
Yeah. He had just been in Slumdog. That was right. That's partly why he's being cast, I'm guessing, and also just for like international appeal.
This is when Hollywood is starting to go like, oh, we need to load our supporting cast with as many international box office stars as possible so the movies play well in all territories.
Yeah, and
he's also kind of the hot guy at that moment.
A little bit. I mean, he's very, very famous in Bollywood.
And that was the post Slumdog run. When a movie with no name actors becomes that big, everyone's like, okay, wait, which one's the movie star?
Yeah, were they like Frida Pinto? 6 movies?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
Yeah. It took a weird time for them to realize, no, it's obviously Dev Patel, the lead of your movie.
The charismatic lead of the movie.
Right. Took them about 12 years to figure that one out.
So we've already had death-defying stunts.
Yes.
We've had Prison Break, right? We've had Spy Mission, and this is like another classic Bondy thing. Like
briefcase.
Well, no, but also like the party.
Seduction.
The
party, the seduction. Right. And Paula Patton is not able to keep her cool, which then ends up being an asset because she realizes that.
But I enjoy that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a better version of the Kingsman thing, like in Kingsman where he's like, oh no, I have to seduce someone. Let me go call my girlfriend.
Right.
Whereas she's just like, he's so repulsive that she cannot keep character entirely.
But somehow that works for him.
He's kind of like, wow.
Right. He wants to get dommed.
Dom Toretto.
He wants to get Dominic Toretto. I think all this stuff is kind of fun, but I also just feel like the air's out of the balloon. I mean, it's like the building is so fucking good.
Yeah.
You know? And because this movie doesn't have like a real tangible threat, a villain that's kind of neither here nor there, a plot you don't really care about. Once we've gotten the biggest set piece out of the way, I just feel a little bit like, okay, now it's like the sense of inevitability. I think the parking structure thing is fun.
I think it's great.
I just don't care about Nyquist that much at this point.
But there's a nuke.
Yeah,
it literally fires.
I've said it. Great briefcase. Said it before. I'll say it again. Great briefcase.
I just like that the final stunt is not trying to top. They've already had their best stunt.
Yes.
But is just Cruise driving a car vertically down. But I also love the Renner thing.
Yes.
I love how this movie, be it intentional or not, like intentional or last minute fix, realizes what Renner is, which is the guy who's like, this is crazy. I don't want to do this.
And he also has to do essentially the classic Tom Cruise stunt. He essentially has to replicate the Mission Impossible 1.
Bit, right. The sort of your hands are your spread eagle.
Right. Being lowered into the room thing, but he does it without cool.
Well, that's the thing. He's like to Simon Pegg, he's like, if Simon Pegg pitched this to Cruise would be like, great, where's my metal shirt?
Right.
Whereas like Benji's like, yeah, I'm going to pilot you through it magnetically.
I have to wear this under
Renner's
this?
Like, that's insane.
Get the fuck
What are
here.
you talking about?
Yeah.
There is no way that we're going to do that. It's a no.
Yeah.
And Benji's like, no, it's a yes. Also, it's going to be really, really hot. Did I mention that? I catch you.
I catch you.
And I love the final thing where the thing explodes, the little rover explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Metal goes.
Yeah, they got a nice
metal,
little.
He dodges all the metal.
Rover robot. They also there's the whole business with Renner doesn't have kind of the instinct, so they're all telling him to jump. He doesn't know when to jump.
Yeah,
he jumps and they freak out that he jumped.
Okay.
I don't know, funny business.
Yeah.
But I mean, pretty quickly, Cruz chases down Nyquist.
Sure. I mean, he is just a guy,
right?
And Nyquist just wants to launch the nuke, and he does.
Goes to a parking structure.
Yeah. Nyquist throws himself off of it.
Really cool.
Cruz drives down.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to talk about that. Oh, it's cool. It's all these different levels rising and falling.
It's so much fun. Yeah. It's also like kind of a cool building. Like I think they just keep picking cool structures to fuck around in, and that is like some sort of famous piece of architecture. That parking.
It is like something like The Incredibles, where he designs that whole world so well, where all of the architecture across the entire universe of that film has such a unifying aesthetic. Right. He somehow finds real structures that feel Brad Birdy.
Yes, and somewhat science fiction-y.
Yeah, which is really cool.
And then what's the last thing that happens in the parking structure?
Our old friend, the detective, comes back.
He's like, Tom Cruise, I've got you, and I'm here to tell you that you're great.
Sees that Tom Cruise's finger is on the button that just stopped the warhead.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like also that like the warhead like clips the building.
Yes, I love the clips of the Transamerica building.
Yeah.
Kevin Zegers. Transamerica.
That's why he got so close. Can you go to Wikipedia and look up who the third guy was? It was...
do you think it'll be on Wikipedia?
I think so, in development. Anthony Mackie, Kevin Zegers, and one other guy were the three contenders. Anyway, mission accomplished, and then it cuts to our old buddy. You thought he was going to be missing for one of them. Nope. No. Ving Vong.
No, Ben,
Ving Vong.
Ben,
Ving Vong.
You're wagging your finger, but he actually pulls pull your hand out of your pocket and give the other finger.
Ving Vong.
Which I think is funny.
Who's at the door? Ving Vong. Ving Rhames.
Yeah, he comes here. He gives Jack Lemmon his Golden Globe. That's the scene.
Have I told you...
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to give this Golden Globe to Jack Lemmon.
Have I told you I saw that at such a formative age that anytime I was unhappy with someone winning an award,
you talked
I'd
about
be
it.
Like, I wanted Michael Caine to do it with Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anthony Mackie, Kevin Zegers.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy.
Oh, right.
Christopher Pine.
Weird.
And Christopher Egan? Who's that?
Who the fuck is that?
He played Charlie in Letters to Juliet.
What?
I don't know. He was in Kings. I kind of vaguely remember this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was a real whitey
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a guy with a face.
Sure.
He's a guy with a face. He's a guy with a face.
I mean...
He's a guy who's got a body, he's got a face. He's got shoulders, he can talk.
Can see how bad the Wi-Fi is.
He's got shoulders, he can walk, he can talk. He's
I don't
a boy.
know. He's
barely
got a face.
He's got a face.
Rachel, weigh in. Nah, it's
Rachel hates him.
Not into
Jesus Christ.
Dominion. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's let himself go.
Okay. So, Ving Rhames and Tom Cruise just drinking some brewskis. And then the rest of the crew shows up. They're like, hey, we just finished at Dave & Buster's. We ran out the rest of our game card. Like, it's like we're all like together as like a group.
Right.
They show up together and Tom Cruise is like, gotta say, this is a good team we got here. A surprise, wasn't my usual guys.
Yeah, but fun time.
Right.
Maybe let's do this again sometime.
Hands a bunch of cell phones. Here's the mission if you choose to accept it.
No, he says, here are your missions. Choose to accept them.
Oh, yeah, which is cool.
is great.
Right. But he's kind of warm here. He's
very nice.
I'll say the way they blow his hair out in this final sequence, he looks a lot like Tig Notaro.
Yes.
Tig Notaro jokes about looking like Tom Cruise.
Yes.
This is the moment in Tom Cruise's filmography where he looks the most like Tig Notaro.
For sure.
They give it the exact same kind of flip in the back. And everyone else leaves except for Renner. Ving Rhames sticks him with the bill, but flashes him a bird. And then Renner's like, look, I got to level with you.
And Cruise is like, yeah, that was all made up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
My wife's right over there.
Yeah.
Right.
I timed all of this. Oh, yeah, because Ving Rhames is upset because he's now going to have to spend, 5 days at the bottom of the river.
Yeah, he's going to have to go get a nuclear bomb.
Right, from the bottom.
From the bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what perfect coinkydink. Here is Michelle Monaghan getting off a ferry.
Mm-hmm.
She's still alive. Tom Cruise had to fake his own death.
Right.
Fake her death in order to keep her safe.
Yeah.
And then he disappears like A Ghost in the Night.
Go.
The real Ghost
movie
Protocol.
had no ghosts.
No ghosts.
That's true.
Well, until the end. That's the twist. Fog disappear.
What if that was the twist where they're like, someone finally kills him and he's like, you can't kill me. I'm already dead. I've been a ghost the whole time.
What if the end of the movie was Tom Cruise on the pier, flips up his hoodie, which is a very cool hoodie.
Good hoodie.
Good flip.
Right. It's so good at the flipping. Disappears into the fog, and then the camera slowly pans over to a graveyard where it says Ethan Hunt, 1951 to 2009.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it. That's the end of the movie.
We did it. I'm just looking at the trivia. Oh, Reuben Fleischer and Edgar Wright were the other considered directors. So
Zombieland.
That's a real bullet.
So weird.
So I have something. Maybe I don't know if we want to do box office game. I worked out a little thing during
Ben's been leaving a lot of notes. Do you want?
We're gonna do the box office game, but go ahead,
Griff. So could you read these pitches for me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna read these pitches.
Read what it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna pitch these for Ben because Ben, is a little shy.
Of course.
This is SNL Mission Impossible pitches. Okay, ready? So these are pitches for SNL. This would be to do a sketch.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna read it as is with no commentary.
Okay.
Mission. More reasonable.
Sure, just like a pretty normal kind of like chill. Like, what would that be, like getting groceries?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. That's a good mission.
But it's like crowded.
Getting groceries, but like on a Sunday afternoon.
Totally.
Like, oh,
exactly.
God. Like, supermarket's going to be busy.
Fun. Yeah.
Right.
Whole Foods is going to be packed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Where you
nice
look at
one.
It
Nice one.
And you're like, but I need the groceries.
You do. Yeah.
I forgot to mention, every one of these pitches has an exclamation point at the end of it.
Okay.
So does the header of SNL Mission Impossible pitches.
Okay.
So Mission More Reasonable. Second one, Mission Enough Already.
Oh, wow.
Mission,
come on.
Editorializing.
Mission Geez Louise. Mission You Can't Believe This Stuff. Mission No. That's insane.
What? That's pretty close to impossible, but it's just like a little less.
And here's the last pitch. Mission Are You? But that's not. Wait, what? You can't do that.
It's a cold read right there.
Oh, maybe you can. And if I can read the rest of these notes.
No.
He wrote no ghost, question mark. He also wrote Zeiger Report. I guess we'll do a new segment where we report on whether or not Kevin Zeigers is in the film.
You were asking for people to report in, so I was going to say tie it into the fact that we're playing burger
if you've seen
reports.
Kevin Zeiger eat a burger.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he also circled Resident Evil 5 times.
Yes, you got it.
One for each entry in the franchise.
Thank you. That was great, Griffin.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So that's Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. And
it's a great movie that I love so much.
Now, here's what's tricky.
Yeah.
Came out in limited release its first weekend. They released it only in IMAX screens the first weekend.
That is true.
Which kind of helped it because it sold out its first weekend.
It's true.
Word of mouth was bigger
it was
when it went
a weird
wide.
gambit that worked.
So the question is, which weekend do we cover?
It's up to you. It's relatively similar. It's just that Ghost Protocol is not number one.
Let's do the wide weekend.
Okay, the wide weekend, which is Christmas weekend, 2011.
Your Lord.
Right, exactly. So Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol goes wide, and
Our Lord that Ricky Gervais doesn't believe in. Go on.
It has now grossed $76 million.
Hey, now. Not bad. Ends up being second highest grossing in the franchise.
209 domestic,
yeah.
700 worldwide.
Good number for Tommy.
Real bounce back for him.
Yeah. Bounce, baby.
Number two is a sequel to a movie that was a big hit at Christmas like a couple years earlier.
Oh, right. This is two...
There are two sequels.
Hits of Christmas Past that had previously opened on the same Christmas.
Right. 2 years prior.
Okay. So I think number 2 is Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows.
That's right.
And number 3 is Alvin the Chipmunks The Squeakquel. No, it's the third one. It is Shipwreck.
That's right. Well done.
Thank you. Okay. So that's the top 3.
Mm-hmm. I have not seen Shipwrecked. That's the one on a boat, correct?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Great.
I only see the Becker Chipmunks. I will say Game of Shadows, I watched the last 20 minutes on TV and enjoyed it more than any of the first Sherlock Holmes just because Jared Harris fucking
I'm realizing we did this weekend before, but anyway.
I was trying to remember if we had done this weekend or the previous weekend where it was in limited.
It might have been. I don't fucking know. No, we did this weekend. This is the weekend they're debuting.
So then should we do the limited weekend? I don't know what to tell you.
Well, but you don't remember what number 4 is.
You don't give me any clues.
It's an adaptation of a novel, and it's absolutely crazy that this was released at Christmas.
Oh, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then why did we cover this before? Something else is in the top 10.
Number 5 is a film we've talked about before.
From the year 2011.
Yes.
Is it We Bought a Zoo?
No, that's number 6.
Really?
Yes. Number 7 is also a movie we've just talked about before.
Number 7's a movie we talked about before?
That's right. And they're all new this week.
Big weekend. Okay, wait. So what's the one I still need to get? Number 5.
Yep. Animated film.
Animated picture. Fully animated.
Fully animated, but motion capture?
Oh. Zemeckis is a Christmas Story?
Huh?
Zemeckis a Christmas Story?
Christmas Carol, I'm assuming you're saying, but
yeah,
no.
I'm sorry. Was it Zemeckis as a Christmas Story, though?
No.
Okay. It's neither of those.
Right. It's not the movie you mentioned or the fake movie you just made up.
Happy Feet 2?
No.
Because there's some controversy with those Happy Feet movies.
No.
How much they're mocap.
Yeah, but it's not that.
I'm just defending my guess. Or people tell me I'm dumb. Which I am.
You love this movie.
I love this movie. Oh, it is my dear friend. The reason we discussed this weekend before the box office. His name is Tintin.
Tintin.
The Adventures of Tintin.
And so what's at number 7?
So number 7 is War Horse.
Spielberg had 2 movies
this
in the
fucking
same weekend.
So then wait, let's quickly, because we knocked this out.
Yeah, that's fine. So the
weekend before where Mission Impossible opens
let's
limited.
do more.
Yeah, let's do more.
Let's do more stuff.
Yeah, let's do more stuff. The weekend before is Sherlock Holmes and Alvin are numbers 1 and 2.
Okay.
Mission Impossible is number 3.
How much?
Limited, it made $13 million
that's
on
solid.
400 screens.
That's really cool.
I realized I just had him read SNL pitches.
Yep. Yes.
Yes, exactly. No, it's fine.
Lauren is a big fan of the show.
That's right.
Yeah.
What if he was? What if we had him on? What do you think we'd talk about?
Not bad.
Who do you think his guys are?
His guys? Chevy, Jim, Dan, Billy, Gilda.
Absolutely outrageous.
We're going to sit next to each other every time.
Yeah. That's
good
great.
idea.
This is great.
Number 4 is an anthology film.
Anthology film?
Sort of. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's one film. It's not like a Paris Je t'aime. You know, it's like a movie with lots of different, and a big ensemble. Sort of Altman-esque, except without the quality. It was number 1 the previous week. It dropped like a rock to number 4.
Drop like a rock to
its
number
second
4.
weekend.
Is it called New Year's Eve?
That's right.
Saw it
Very
with
Marshall film.
past guest and future guest Bobby Finger.
And did you have a good time?
We saw it at midnight. I was drunk.
Okay.
Raise your glass.
Was Bobby drunk?
Yes.
Okay.
On excitement.
Number 5 is a comedy that exists.
Interesting. Okay, so it doesn't. So the clue there is that it doesn't exist.
No, it does not. And also, I think it was coming out like significantly after it had been filmed.
Interesting.
Like years. It starred like a comedy name. The premise was, what if he had this specific job?
Jesus,
which he seems ill-suited for.
Someone is ill-suited to a job.
Those are my favorite kind of comedies.
Yes.
I know.
This might be the next Ben's choice. Is it a big comedy movie star?
I'd say medium comedy movie star.
Where are we in his arc?
And but now he's back. He bounces back shortly after, but with like a whole new look.
Baby.
Correct.
Bounces back with a whole new look.
Yeah, he kind of like rebrands a little bit. Gets a new look. Does like a little more of like an action comedy for his next movie.
Weird Al without the glasses?
Yeah, that's what it is. Right. It's Weird Al without the glasses. You're right. You nailed it.
He bounces back with an action comedy.
Yeah.
He's ill-suited for this job.
Yeah.
It had been shot a while earlier.
Been shot ages earlier. In fact, like it had been shot so long ago, I think his action comedy had already like come out and recovered his reputation.
Weird.
Yeah.
He's a straight comedian.
No, I'm wrong. It comes out the next year.
He's a straight comedian?
Straight comedian?
Straight comedian. I'm saying, does he come from a purely comedic background?
He makes comedy movies, not a stand-up.
Not stand-up.
No.
Sketch comedian? Was he on SNL?
No, I don't think so. He's from the Apatow stable.
Fuck, it's an Apatow guy who's bad at his job.
Well, in this movie. I mean, I actually haven't seen the movie. Maybe he's good at his job. But the pitch of the movie's poster is like, that guy in that job? I don't know.
What movie is this? It sounds so funny.
I don't think it is.
No, it sounds really
it
funny.
was like a flop.
It sounds really funny, David. I'm laughing.
Oh,
okay,
God.
It's an Apatow guy.
This is taking forever.
How is this taking so long? It's not a Rogan.
No, but, you're in the right wheelhouse.
Right. So,
He's disappointed now that he remembers what it is.
Yeah, this movie fucking sucks.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I own it on DVD.
Well,
it was
say
a
what
trivia
it is.
prize.
It's The Sitter.
It's The Sitter with Jonah Hill.
You want a fun trivia fact?
He's a babysitter? That guy? Jonah Hill, but he's like a big galoot.
I think he might be bad.
You want a fun trivia fact?
Sure.
One of the final 3 candidates to play the daughter in that film,
Griffin Newman?
Romley Newman.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so all of you guys had your shot.
That's one way of putting it.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you all were out there.
No, Romley doesn't really act, but she's a very good. She's very good at being on camera and talking about food.
Sure. Is that what that character is?
No, but my agents, sometimes would like throw stuff if they needed a precocious child.
They're throwing it at you?
They literally threw it at her head.
Wow.
But I remember taking Romley to her callback to meet with David Gordon Green. I had to pick her up from school. She was still young.
She must have been like 12 or 13, right? Like, I mean, this is 2010.
Yeah, I picked her from school.
Except leaving earlier because that movie was old.
Yeah, she must have been like 10 years old.
So it's a great way to end our Ghost Protocol episode.
Yeah, you know who ended up getting it?
Who?
If I'm not mistaken.
Jennifer Lawrence. No, who?
Or maybe it was the other girl who didn't get it. Teresa Giudice, is that her name? The Real Housewife who went to jail?
Right.
Her daughter.
Huh.
Those were the 3 people in the room. Were that woman's daughter, Romley, and I think the girl who ultimately got it.
Well, apparently Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Ari Grainer's in this movie.
Yeah.
Rockwell is in it.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Is he good?
Yeah,
Max Records is in it.
He's really
the Wild
good in it,
Things
actually.
kid.
He's very good in it. JB Smoove is in it.
Apparently Method Man is in it.
Yes, he is.
What is this movie?
It's bad.
Okay.
And I remember reading the script. We wouldn't let Romley read the script because it was so inappropriate. And I was like, this script's fucking amazing. Like, on paper, it was so funny. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, no, you don't want to see people do these things.
Uh-huh.
It's like a perfect, like, spec script to put someone on the map to be like, oh, what a good, like, sample of their writing. And then the second it's on screen, they're real kids in those situations. You're like, I hate this.
Okay.
This makes me uncomfortable.
Sure.
Romley and I saw it. We had a miserable time, but she had to admit that the girl was very good.
Interesting.
Romley's very competitive with anyone who is within 5 years of her age in any field. She gets, like, she can't watch the Olympics because she gets jealous of, like,
kicking ass.
Yeah.
I'm all about Chloe Kim. I'm all in on her.
Topical.
Tweeting about breakfast sandwiches?
You know when we're recording this episode.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Ben is holding up his fists.
Ben, you did a great job.
Victory.
Rachel, thank you for being with us.
Rachel has just handed in her 2 weeks' notice. It's her first and last day at Audio Boom.
Oh, and there she goes.
There she goes. She is running.
Where do you think we lost her?
She's trying to catch that last helicopter down.
I think it was probably, I don't know, maybe
All of
hour
it?
and a half in. Yeah.
The fourth time she had to physically walk over and push my mic up.
Yep.
So we're fun, cool guys, and everyone likes us. Very professional, good at her jobs. Thank you to Anne Fergudo for social media, someone who's actually good at her job.
She
Lee
rules.
Montgomery for a theme song, someone who's actually good at his job. Joe Bone and Pat Reynolds for the artwork, actually good at their jobs. Go to blinkies.reddit.com for some real nerdy shit. And as always, I don't know if you guys know this.
What's up? What's up, Rip?
John Voight looks like the Hall of Presidents robot.
Oh, shit. Yo, and hey.
What?
Yo, on the low,
Yeah, please.
you know who's an atheist?
Who?
Ricky Gervais.
Oh my God. Wait a second.
Yeah, seriously.
Rachel, cut the mics.
What's up?
Tom Cruise is really good at taking off clothes.
Dude, he's really good.
And put them back on, too.
I love that.
I love it, too. You want some more bagel twist?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
These are good.
It's really good, right?
Yeah.
Even good cold.
Do we have an out? I don't know. Maybe we just chew out.
I think chew our way out.
All right, fine.
That's just like, what's the slowest fade out we can have on this
This right now.
right now?
Yeah.
So right now it's fading, but it's still going on. I mean, you can hear it's faint, but it's still definitely.
And
What about Light Bright? What if I made a Light Bright movie?
What is Light Bright again? Is that like the Etch-a-Sketch, but it's lights?
It's like it's almost like a battleship board where it's with pegs, but the pegs are translucent and the board lights up so you can draw with lights. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I remember. Yeah. I remember those commercials.
There's a 3-act structure to that, right?
What should the headline on my early man review be?
Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
How is it?
Cute. Gentleman 6.
A Gentleman 6.
Should you be recording all this?
Yeah. No, I mean, I have recorded.
Good. Perfect. Put it all at the end. All right. Come on, Griff. What's your line?
Okay, well, I gotta look it up. I was looking up Hasbro properties.
These guys are the definition of meandering.
Yeah, we're a pain in the ass. That's what we're a definition of.
Tightest
right?
episode of all time.
We're a definition of. This is a tight movie, I guess. So
yeah. So get ready for a loose episode.